The following is a trip down the backlog rabbit hole, where completing your library of games is just a fantasy. Surprise? Yeah, I'm on tonight. Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. It's me, ShellshockPrime, and I am on tonight because I originally did not.
It has begun!
I originally did not plan to stream tonight, but I decided, you know what, why not? We're gonna continue on with some more Apollo Justice tonight and see just how far we can go. Because I honestly really want to play more of this game. I really wanted to continue on and see just where the rest of the game story actually takes me. Because that's what's gonna happen tonight. So I added that to the schedule. But Sunday is still happening as it is, where I'm gonna do Backlog Fantasy Tournament of Backlog. I'm gonna do the whole tournament on Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern. Then at Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're gonna do Sharing with Shellshock to talk about childhood TV shows. So that's this Friday, no, this Sunday. Good to see Caitlin. Hope you're doing good. Hopefully, good to see you. Everyone coming in. Nova the Artist, Super Big Kaiju. It is Friday, November 7th, 2025. Today is the release, or rather, yesterday was the release of Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Because remember, Nintendo does Thursday releases. But I plan to pick that game up at some point soon. I still need to do Definitive Edition and then Age of Calamity, even though they're not connected. But I kind of want to do them in that order. The Fire Emblem Warriors games I'll do eventually. Like, as I know, the first one is like a multiple Fire Emblem games, and then the second one is Three Hopes. I'm assuming that if they make a third one, will be based off of the new one that's coming out. Hey, Dragon, good to see you. Yep, Friday stream. No one expect. Just like the Spanish Inquisition, no one expects a random Friday stream. So, yeah, I do enjoy a good Monty Python every now and then. Anyway, so we are in the third case though, which, to be honest with you, I don't even know where, like, if there's any part of this case that people say is awful, I probably haven't run into it yet. The third case, which are always great and never bad. Hey, Mr. TL Wolf, good to see you. Like, so, so to recap what happened in the beginning of the third case, we had the rock concerts that gone wrong because there was a murder that took place right after the second set, but in between right when the third set was taking place, and now we are like dealing with a murder with someone who was supposedly blind, but We're gonna do what we can to get them off the hook and get the real perpetrator on the hook. So let's go ahead and, well, thanks to Seribot, they knocked that bot out of there. But let's actually get started. We are going to play some more Apologists, and we're going to do the rest of case 3, and then we're going to start case 4, but we're not finishing case 4 tonight because case 4 is case 4 is more likely going to be the longest case of the game. So I figured I'd just at least get some of it out of the way. That's why we're doing case 3 now, like the rest of it. Alright, let me lower the game. Let me lower the game audio because I had to put it up because of a project that I was doing, but now like I had to lower it to put it in the more appropriate volume. Alright, so we're going to do the second investigation. So day 2 investigation. That's what we're doing. Hopefully everybody's having a good Friday evening because I'm looking forward to just seeing exactly just where we're going to go, what we're going to do. So let's do it. July 9th, 2:12 p.m. Right? Anything agency. Hey, Apollo. What? Well, actually nothing. I mean, something, or maybe not. Out with it. The suspense is giving me an ulcer. Well, the trial today, I was thinking, if you give it a score, what score would you give it? Score? G. I guess I would, or maybe, well, I'm just as bad as you. See? It's so vague. Clearly. Machi avoided a guilty verdict, which is something. Though I can't say I'm any less confused about the case. I asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure you'll find their answer intriguing. IP XX314206. The agent registered under this number was Romain Lataus. And the victim, Mr. Lataus? Who would have guessed he was actually an undercover Interpol agent? What a mess. And we don't have any idea what he was investigating. Well, true. But we know who shot him now. Lamira told the whole court. Wait. That voice just now. It was him. I'm sure of it. That voice I heard talking to Mr. Lataus. When I heard the gunshots fired, it was him. It was Mr. Darian. It's another mystery. Apollo, I love mysteries. I don't. Speaking of mysteries, what's Mr. Wright up to? I wouldn't mind asking his opinion. Now that you mention it, I haven't seen Daddy around. What, is he some kind of stray that just wanders in and out of Will? I wouldn't say that, but he's been going out a lot. Some top secret mission, he said. Top secrets? Anyway, you can't just rely on him to save the day. And you got me to help you. We'll be fine. Fine, right. Well, time's a wasting, as they say. Let's investigate. That's the spirit. But first, let's talk. Hey, Nova, good to see you. Lamira dropped the bomb in court today. It was Darian. Lamira said she's never forgotten the voice, right? That's so cool. I guess. What's that called again? Elephant ears? I bet that's what they're called. Somehow, I don't think that means what you think it means. And she has to be wrong this time. Wrong? Why? I mean, look. Those gunshots were right during the concert. I've been worse, been better? Yeah. I getcha. That's right. I was burning out the dance floor at the time. Right. Did you happen to look up on stage? Maybe? At Daryan even? You bet I did. He is one of the Gavineers' guitarists after all. He's so cool. Oh, right. All the Gavineers have a rock-solid alibi. He couldn't have shot Mr. Lataus backstage. But Lamira here heard him, didn't she? She heard Daryon backstage, right? Somebody's either wrong or lying very badly here. Exactly, because so that's a conundrum right there. If Daryon did it, then like explain how he would be a part of the rock concert. It was during the Gavinier set. Yeah, I hope that your evening goes well, Nova. I agree with Caitlin on that. So, Agent Lathouse. An Interpol agent, huh? I was wondering, what is Interpol anyway? It's an organization that Chun-Li works at in Street Fighter. Huh? Interpol? They're the guys who catch international criminals. Street Fighter. Chun-Li does that. Because she goes after Shadowloo in, like, most of the Street Fighter games. Why can't they just call them International Police instead of making up some silly name? Yeah. Anyway, you think he was investigating Lamida? What? Why would anyone do that? She's not a criminal. She couldn't be. Don't be fooled by appearances is all I'm saying. But remember, I am a magician, Apollo. I could spot a palm coin at 50 places. If only it were that easy. In any case, we'd know when he was working on something. I'm wondering if it was something that has something to do with something. That something being our case. The last something, I mean. Something like that. Frankly, the whole thing is making my head hurt. What was Mr. Lathouse up to? Huh? Trucy? Was that another one of your tricks? It wasn't me. I can't even make Mr. Hal laugh like that. Who is this guy? Wherever the mundane gives way to miracles, a word is whispered. Gramarye. Hey, the other day. Eek! Who's there? We didn't just imagine that, did we? He was wearing a silk hat. Friend of yours? Hardly. We meet again. Nice to meet you. Who are you? And could you please stop smirking like that? It's you, Uncle Valet. Just ready for next Thursday evening? Yeah. Uncle Valet? He's your uncle? No, silly. It's the great Gramarye. Valiant Gramarye. Valiant Gramarye. The Grand Magician. Yes, it is I, the great Valiant Gramarye, as seen on television. Could you please stop smirking like that? It's been a while, Miss Trucy. 7 years to be exact. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Ooh, Motor City Comic Con, nice. My, how have you grown? Good to see you again, Uncle Valiant. You look exactly the same. I hate to intrude, but what is a great magician doing paying a visit? Pay us a visit. I believe it was you who wished to see me, so be quick with your questions. And do not quail. quake, or quiver. I am quite tame. But my starting to sear the sight. I'm quite down to earth when he calls. Yeah, seriously, have a good time. He does have a certain aura to him, it's true. Let's ask him about the case, Apollo. His aura sure isn't lost on our magician in the making. She's practically drooling with enthusiasm. After all, Uncle Valent's one of Daddy's best friends. That's why I call him Uncle. But what? Daddy? You mean Mr. Right? No, I mean my real daddy. Huh? Brucey's real father? Wait, Apollo. Don't tell me you don't know about Trope Grammary. Troop Grammary. Huh. No. But it does sound kind of familiar. Oh, lost life. Lamentably, listless lad. To not know the greatest troop of magicians on the planet. Valet Grammary. The name began to surface in my mind. Philomar, John DiMaggio, Matthew Lillard, and more will be there? Nice. It was the name I heard on television as a child. You bet you heard the name. He made a cruise ship disappear and blew up an amusement park. Oh, and he made all this gold disappear from a safe, and then escape from a high security prison. You say he's a magician? I opened the locks to hearts chained by mediocrity. This is the true miracle of Troop Grammary. Wait. What, Apollo? I do remember seeing you on television a long time ago. Weren't you with someone else? Like a duo? A duo? Yeah, you had a partner. Something Grammary. Yes, Zach. Zach Grammary. A masterful maker of magic, a capable crafter of shining showmanship. He's dead, isn't he? Why is everyone so quiet? Daddy. Daddy? Huh? Oh, no way. Once upon a time, Troop Grammary included 2 grand magicians. Myself, Valet Grammary, and my partner, Zach Grammary. This Zach was... Alright, give me 1 second real quick. I gotta check something. Alright, there we go. Yeah, because I just had to check something because, like, it was related to the project that I just mentioned earlier. And I had to clarify, like, the time. So, it's all good. Alright, let's continue with the game. And this Zach was... He was my real daddy. Brucey's father, a magician. I guess it makes sense. I had no idea. There wasn't much point in talking about it. Not now that he's gone. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's okay. I'm not lonely. I got my daddy after all. And you make me laugh, Apollo. Glad that I'm good for comic relief, at least. Not that I see Daddy around much these days. I've been remiss in remembering my reasons for my visit. Reasons? Two, in fact. The first being, of course, to see you, Miss Trucy. You don't know how happy I am to see you again, Uncle Valet. I'm sure you are. Not one for modesty, are you? When I encountered you at the Coliseum, the first time in 7 years, I could faint not contain my emotions. I wept oceans. And to learn now you now defend that poor pianist, that blinded boy. 'Twas a hot topic of talk amongst the staff, you know. And defend him you did. Well, it wasn't all my doing. I'm his defense attorney, actually. My other reason for coming here today was this. That's a videotape. Quite so, a recording of the concert, no less. I brought it for you, Trucy, on behalf of Troop Grammary. Will you watch it? Oh, wait. So, that's the concert right there. There was a videotape of the concert. Wait a minute. You saw that, right? That was Machi playing the piano. You want to burn that tape once you're finished with this. That's where the fire is supposed to burn. That was the moment you could see it's about to burn right now. Wait. There's the disappearing act. And then, like, he's playing. That's where that's where the mishap takes place. But and then, as you can see, she is right over there. But, and you, wait a minute. Wow, it's almost as good as it was live. Wait a second. I didn't see, like, I saw a shot of Machi playing the piano around the time that, but the thing is that the third set was when, like, he supposedly shot Agent Lataus, but for whatever reason, towards the end of that set, I didn't see him there, and you could see Gavin's still trying to sort out the whole mishap with the guitar. So what's the word, mysterious? There are more mysterious things than her song going on. Way more mysterious. This Valet Grammar Ye has good reasons to be here today, but I wonder what his reasons were to be at that concert. But we got that videotape. I'm gonna present the videotape because I want to ask. So I was wondering. That stunt in the middle of the song there. I didn't see a stunt. What about La Mirar vanishing, reappearing? That, I guess I'm so used to seeing that happen I didn't even notice. So young to be jaded. A simple sleight of hand. A petite prestidigitation. A modicum of magic from me to you. So that's why you were at the concert. Yes. I was there to watch my trick take to the air. So you're the one who knows how it was all done. Of course, I'm like a deity. with the stage as my domain. I suffer no mystery upon those floodlit boards, not grasped tightly twixt my fingers. It's a potent, primeval power I possess. Well, do you think you could tell me how it was done? Hey now, Trucy. That's like totally against the rules, Apollo. Not doing a murder investigation's not. My's none, but my illusions are mine alone, Monsieur. Also what? Recall that the terrible occurrence happened later. Well, after my illusion entranced the audience. Oh, don't even ask. I won't answer. Too bad for you, Apollo. Grr, whose side are you on? I, Valet Gramaye, now make my leave, Miss Trucy. There's no need to rush, Uncle Valet. You should stay for a while. I'm afraid I cannot. I may not. I shall not. I have been asked to assist with analysis, and so I shall slink back to the scene. So, you'll be at the concert venue today? Correct. If you would call on me, come to the Coliseum. See you later, Crocodile. With a whirl of his cloak and a wink of his eye, he turned and walked out through the door, normally. Well, there you go, Apollo. Let's get cracking. Right. Valet Gramaye. I got a few more things to ask him. Foremost amongst them, that bit of magic that made Lamira disappear, and how he knows Trucy and her real father. Let's go to the detention center. Machi may not be guilty, but he's still suspect. But they don't have any decisive evidence. Yeah, but only someone as small as him could have gotten out of that room. Right, the air vent. And he lied. Lied? Machi Tobaye can see. Ah, Machi. Speak of the devil. He looks like he's doing okay. I forget. Why did we come here? It's not like we can talk to him at anything. Words overrated. Feelings are what matter, Apollo. It's kind of hard to build a court case on feelings. But since we're here anyway, might as well get what I want to say off my chest. If you need someone to complain to, I'll listen. I think she's actually worried for me. Alright. So, what did you think of the trial today? Whew, I'm glad he doesn't understand English after all. If he did, he would have been scared out of his mind by that trial. Trucy's a sweet bean? Yep, 100%. Hey, all's well that ends well. You have to be more goal-oriented. If he's innocent, we win. No, if he's found not guilty, we win. Machi might not understand English, but I bet he gets that better than you do. Whew. Huh? What's with the bracelet? I'm glad Lamira testified. What a great person. She even got Machi off the hook by naming another suspect. Daryan of the Governors. The detective. I wonder if Machi knows what's happened. I mean, if you could follow how the trial went at all, if no one told him there's a new suspect, how would he know? Hey, what is it, Apollo? No, it's nothing. I must be imagining it. Imagining what, Apollo? It's just, I couldn't help but feel that, I don't know, Machi? He doesn't understand what we're saying, right? How could he? He's a young Borginian. He doesn't speak English. Yeah. But my bracelet is reacting to him. Huh. Maybe it's malfunctioning. Or it's scared because you keep making those I'm so mad faces. Was I that bad? Machi lied about not being able to see. But what if that's not all he lied about? If you're curious about it, there's only one thing to do. You should ask him. I think I'll take something big. It'll take something big to get him. Some kind of undeniable evidence. We'll be back, Machi. So, Machi, you can see, right? Machi can see, and Lamira can't. The whole world's gone topsy-turvy. Sorry, Apollo. I don't think we're gonna get any information out of Machi. Which makes sense. Yeah, I guess it does. Alright, so we're gonna have to come back later when we get something big. For now, let's go back to the agency, and then we're gonna go to the Coliseum. That's the exterior of the Coliseum. The Sunshine Coliseum. Ooh, what a great day. It's a perfect weather for sleuthing. The weather matters for investigation. Don't some days just feel like magic days or defense days? I'm sure. Let's get started, shall we? Right on. Show us your stuff, Apollo. What stuff? Your voice training. This is the perfect place for it. I did enough at home, thanks. There's no need to be shy. Keep that up and you'll never make it on the big stage. I'm happy in the courtroom, thank you. I'm a lawyer. Then you're in luck, because it's lawyer weather today. Don't you just want to face the blue sky shout, objection? Look, the weather has nothing to do with lawyers. Let's get going already. Why did it be a buzzkill, Apollo? I'm kind of not really liking the character of Apollo Justice, to be honest with you. He's more of a buzzkill, and whenever people just want to lighten the mood a little bit, he's just a lot more serious to my taste, at least compared to Phoenix Wright. I'm kind of not really liking him as much. Alright, so he does. I just kind of feel like he should just loosen up a little bit. Let's go to the backstage hallway. Like, I don't think he's a bad guy. He's not a bad guy or anything. It's just that he just needs to loosen up. Ah, Mr. Attorney. Lamira. I'm sorry about today. There's nothing you need to apologize for. You're merely defending Machi. Are you okay? Alone, I mean? Man, it's weird seeing you stream on Fridays regularly. Yeah. I just wanted to continue on with the story of this because there's still so much that's going on right now, and I really want to see more. You like him his own way? That's fair, Dragon. For me, like, he's just way too serious for me. Like, hell, like, started up Owl's Awakening today. Yeah, I was actually, like, wanting to play that at some point. Yeah, Apollo, like, I'm not as much of a fan of his as I thought that I would. Hell, I like Miles Edgeworth like way more, and he's as serious as he gets. But I think I just like the vibe of Miles Edgeworth as a character more than I do for Apollo Justice. Maybe it might just be the writing of this game. I don't know. From what Apollo gets better later on. All right. Humans are blessed with 5 senses. Yeah, I have not played 5 or 6, so I'll see how that goes when I get there. Even robbed of one. We get by. Though it does make being a witness rather difficult. Speaking of seeing, you knew who we were before we spotted you just now. And we weren't even talking. I heard your footsteps several times the day before. Oh. You must have great ears. Ears that heard the crime taking place. Or so she claimed yesterday. But how? Oh, I love Edgeworth. I absolutely love Edgeworth. I actually kind of love him a lot more as a character than Phoenix Wright sometimes. It's just the vibes that I get from him. It's just Apollo just he kind of comes off as a dick. The voice. That was quite a statement you made today in court. About hearing Darien Crescen's voice at the scene of the crime. I did not know his name, but I'll never forget a voice. Wait. But, Lamina, is something the matter? That voice just now. It was him. I'm sure of it. No way. As I said in the court, I was on my way backstage from the stage. That, is when I heard his voice. I'm guessing Darien and Mr. Litt's house were talking about something. The next moment, I heard those gunshots. Why did you call security? To be honest, though, the noise was quite frightening. I never imagined the gunshots might be real, and I wasn't quite a hurry myself. I left the scene at once. So it really was Darian's voice that she heard. Yeah. At least she certainly thinks it was. I met Machi before my debut as Lamira. I was singing in a restaurant in Borgonia, and he was playing the piano. Yes. He was very kind to me when he learned I could not see. Is that when you started playing opposites? With Machi pretending he couldn't see? Ah, no, it wasn't then. That began after our major debut. After I became known as the landscape painter in sound. It must have been tough for Machi. Pretending he couldn't see, and all the while acting as your eyes. We held hands always. He would write with his finger on my palms to signal to me that things I should know. He's a smart, gentle boy. I think I see what she's getting at. Machi would never harm a soul. Alright, so Mr. Lathouse. About Mr. Lathouse. Yes, he was an Interpol agent, I hear. So you had no idea. Of course not, no one did. I guess that's what it means to be undercover. But someone was after him. They had to know who he really was. Why did he pose as my manager? I do not understand. You have no idea? I could only assume that he was investigating me. But why? What makes you think that? Perhaps it is not so, but I cannot deny the possibility, because of my condition. As my presence is veiled in darkness, so too is my memory perhaps clouded from memory. Clouded. Right. The darkness that I fear is not the darkness that I see whenever I open my eyes. The real darkness lies in my heart. In your heart? I had no memory at the time before I became Lamira. I awoke from the darkness into the darkness, you might say. I was singing in a restaurant those days. What is it that she said about not being able to remember the light? I do not know my past. Perhaps I committed some terrible crime in my past. Everything before becoming Lamira is lost to me. But I don't think you... I can think of no other explanation. Why else would an agent of Interpol approach me? Do you think your past might be related to this case? No way. That seems really unlikely to me. I mean, you're such a sweet person, Lamira. I thank you, Machi, too. Tells me this often when I fear who I might have been. I want to present that videotape that I got from the magician. We took a look at your performance again. It was even better the second time. Obviously, I know that she won't be able to see what, she wouldn't be able to watch the videotape, but mainly just ask a question or two that could probably help out. Thank you. That reminds me. That was an incredible illusion you pulled off. Illusion? When you teleported from one stage to the other, remember? Ah, yes. Apparently they hired a professional magician. Valak Gramarye. I was wondering, do you think you could tell us how it was done? I'm afraid I cannot. Mr. Gramarye made me swear to never tell a soul. I was afraid of that. Hard to be a magician if you can't keep a secret, you know. Ah, I am reminded that I wish to speak to you about something. Yes? When I was walking this hallway before, I stumbled upon a small device of some kind. It was lying on the floor. Device? Maybe you mean this? That's been lying there since the day before yesterday. Might I touch it? I thought as much. But, what did you think? This is one of our headsets. Everyone on staff has one during a concert. I wonder whose this is. We use it for communication. It would be quite inconvenient should it go missing. We'll hold on to it for you then. We'll give it to Prosecutor Gavin when we see him. Yes, that's best. Thank you. So I can put it on? Attached? I'm not some kind of robot, Apollo. Everyone on staff was wearing one of these headsets. This might warrant some further inquiry. I wonder if we could actually use forensics on that just to see who it could potentially belong to. I don't know if they're gonna let me, but I feel like that would be a logical thing to do. Just to narrow things down a bit. Let's go to the stage. There's the piano. That song. Isn't that the one Lamira was singing? Yeah, you're right. The guitar serenade. Wow, I love to do a show on stage like this. I come to see that. The house is full, and as one, the audience sighs with wonderment. There I am, singing my ballad, rose petals swirling through the air. Not bad. Wait. Aren't you a magician? Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, my mom just needed me for something. Oh, that's right, I was a magician, wasn't I? Some dedication. Aha, if it isn't Miss Trucy. And indeed it is. Uncle Valent, what exactly are you doing here? I take real responsibility and task undertaken. I am inspecting my equipment of illusion to make sure none is amiss. Lamira teleportation illusion. Oh. Should anything go wrong, it will reflect poorly on me and my troop. As I went about my exacting examination, I happened to notice the piano. And I remember that fair lady's melancholy melody. Hey, Apollo. Maybe Uncle Ballad can shed some light on this whole thing for us. I was wondering about the show The Night of the Murder. Lamira's Vanishing Act was your illusion, right? Indeed. The Purple Prosecutor petitioned my performance. At the climax of the song, he said, make her disappear like a dream. Like a dream. That what can I work with on a stage meant for musical endeavors? There are none of the conveniences of a stage built for sorcerer's acts. It was a challenging task, and so I accepted. She disappeared from the top of the tower. But in order to move, you would have had to use some sort of secret tunnel. People come to me because damn it, way too fast. People come to me because I'm a professional among professionals. My illusions are custom made for a time and a place. Now, because of the murder, all the eyes of the nation are on this concert. Not a bad thing, as far as the fortunes of Troupe Gramarye are concerned. So you were here checking up on your trick to make sure it went well. And it went well, it did. Now, speaking of pianos, that piano over there troubles me. It troubles you? Why? Why? Why do you ask? Why? I think it's probably quicker if I just go check it out myself, thanks. I know what you're thinking in that head of yours. Grammy, yes, you say? I recall seeing him on television. Something of that sort? Actually, yes, you're right. Wow, he just read your mind, Apollo. Or everyone tells him that and he makes a good guess. It was 20 years ago. A young magician, a genius of his time, came down to us. His name was Magnifique Gramarye. It was he who began the great Troupe Gramarye. At his prime, not a day passed since that he did not play upon the screens of every TV there was. I do have a vague memory of someone like that on TV. Yet several years ago, that time came to an end. My troupe pulled the Vanishing Act, yes. Cries for magic no longer heard. The TV screen, a barren waste, stripped the illusion. That's not true. I still went to all your shows, like that one in the parking lot down in the supermarket. When you start playing in supermarket parking lots, you know you're in trouble. We hone our skill at these small venues, always awaiting our time. Hey, Sone, been a while since you played this one. I see, yeah, like, for me, it's my first time. Yes, one day we'll rise upon from obscurity onto fame's shining stage once more. I do this not only for the magic that is Gramarye, but for my partner. Your partner? You mean... Yes, Zach Gramarye. Trucy's father. Before he disappeared 7 years ago. There was no name higher than Gramarye in show business circles. None. I will see us return to glory. I, Valiant Gramarye. Our founder, Magnifique Gramarye, was truly a genius, a worker of miracles. I'll never forget the one I saw when I was little. How he made that whole jumbo jet go. What happened to the jet again? Apparently someone doesn't remember it all as well as they thought. Yeah, she's adopted. I kind of figured. Of all the would-be magicians who came to his door, only Zach and I had the talent. In no time at all, Violet and Zach were the shining stars of the Gramarye crown. Cool, huh? And Zach Gramarye was my daddy. Now that Magnifique and Zach are gone, I have left but one wish. Let it be I, Violet Gramarye, who brings the Gramarye miracle back to the big stage. I'm rooting for you. Miss Trucy, you cannot grow up quick enough. I need your skill by my side. What skill coming up? How do we manage to get off the topic of the case so quickly all the time? Let me see the piano. That's one big piano. I've never actually played one. You should get Mr. Wright to teach you sometime. No good, he can't play either. I kind of feel bad for the guy now. Maybe now's my big chance. Stand back. This could be the debut of the prodigy. Ew. Did you make that noise just now? Let me try it again. You know, I think something's stuck in the piano. Time to take a look under the hood. Huh. Look, this is stuck between the strings. It looks like some kind of switch. Someone must have thrown this into the piano. Alright, well, let's move. I don't know what that switch was doing there, but we gotta move. Hey, Omugiku, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Alright, so let's go to Lamira's dressing room. Actually, hold up. Let me go back real quick. I want to check something. I'll be doing good, Omugiku. The switch sitting here, tempting me to push it. Don't. You might blow up the whole Coliseum. Apollo, please. To think that every strange switch triggers a bomb. That kind of old-fashioned crime trauma thinking doesn't cut in our busy lives. Alright, True CPI, please enlighten me. What do you think the switch does? Maybe it turns on the electric razor in the Prosecutor Gabbard's dressing room? A switch as big as a razor to turn on a razor. Okay. It looks like a self-destruct switch. Am I missing something? Am I on the right path, or did I forget something? Maybe if I were to present that switch? No, it wouldn't make sense if I presented the switch to her. Now, who made me tell the switch to self-destruct? I have no idea. See, I'm trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go now. Like, I went into both of those dressing rooms and nobody's there. I feel like I'm supposed to do something, and I think I'm... Because I already went to the stage. Let me actually... Maybe I do need a... Let me try... What about this headset? Can I ask you about this headset, Lamira? You said that all concert staff were wearing one. That's correct. You need to communicate across such a large stage. Everyone on the staff had one, of course. And all the band members, too, I should think. So Prosecutor Gavin and his lackeys had them on, too, then. They're quite helpful, though limited. They only work within 30 feet or so. After all, they're only used for on stage. And as stronger signal would interfere with the sound system, that makes sense. I think someone would notice if they dropped their only communications lifeline. So why was this one lying here? Alright, let's try the dressing room again. Let's go to Lamira's dressing room first. Oh, that was what I needed to do. Okay. Uh-oh. There's only one person who can munch with such venom. What are you doing here? Hello, Emma. You're looking as grumpy as ever. Oh, am I supposed to be happy? You give me the second degree in court, and Prosecutor Gavin makes me look like a fool. You're talking about the blood stain Mr. Lataus left. My department chief had a field day with that one. Even a blind person could see the shooter wasn't blind. Funny guy, huh? but that bloodstain helped uncover the biggest mystery of all. Now we know that Mr. Lataus was really with Interpol. We wouldn't have found out without you. I suppose. Maybe that's why the chief gave me these after he was finished chewing me out. So it was my reward. Are chocolate stackers popular down at the precinct or something? Let's hope we can check out the crime scene again. Be my guess. You're not going to find any clues in here. Though I did find something strange. Something strange? I met my embarrassment quota for the year, that's for sure. Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? How? I mean, think about it. Now, you don't have to be embarrassed about anything else all year. If only it worked that way. It just bugs me to think that little kid outsmarted me. And it makes him even more suspicious now that we know he can see. He could have seen the air duct, and he could have shot that revolver. But that's not how it sounded in Laminora's testimony. Remember her saying she heard Detective Darian's voice at the scene? That's right. Why can't we have a normal, straightforward killing once in a while in this country? I'll pretend I didn't hear that. Was that true, what you said in the court today? You know, about the case? About how everything was happening according to the song lyrics? The guitar serenade, you mean? I found the link, you know. First, Prosecutor Gavin's heart-shaped key ring was stolen. Then Laminor flew through the air. Then Prosecutor Gavin's guitar caught on fire. And in the end, a bullet took Mr. Lataus' life. And he went into the sky with a guitar. Well, 15 feet up at least. It is kind of hard to chalk it up to coincidence. If anyone tries to cosplay Emma, it's just not complete without snackaroos. Indeed. I know. And I found it. You'd think the same person did all this. For a sec, I was going to say snackaroos, but then I'm thinking of an actual snack we have. Dunkaroos. Remember that? They apparently still make them, and I've tried them, like, when they came back, and to be honest with you, it doesn't really taste as good as it used to. I don't know why. Like, it's probably the nostalgia hitting me, but it doesn't really taste as good as it used to. Don't ask me. I didn't do it. Neither did I. I couldn't fit through that air vent anyway. What? You all think I did it? Sometimes I worry about that girl. So what did you find? It's so little I must have passed over it yesterday. I found it under the sofa. What is it? Part of some device, I think. I haven't a clue what. The bits sticking out from the end look familiar, so I had to examine. Turns out it's an antenna. Ooh, like on the Beetle. Like on a cell phone. This device must use an electronic signal of some sort. An electronic signal, you say? Well, let me show off this switch right here. Do you think you could take a look at this? A small device. Looks like a transmitter. A transmitter? You press the switch here and it sends out a signal. No idea what it's for, though. A signal, you mean. An electronic signal. What is it, Apollo? Say, Emma, you know that strange object you said you found? Oh, this. Let me try pressing this switch. Ouch. It's on fire. Emma's device is on fire. What's the big idea? Ah. Well, now we know what this is. An igniter. This part here must work like a lighter. It nearly lit me up, that's for sure. Hey, don't look at me like that. I didn't do it on purpose. It's on fire. I suppose. At least we're getting somewhere with this case. Hey, Apollo. Let's ask Emma more about this switch. It has to be Dragon. It has to be. Now she has some first-hand experience. What are you trying to do? Burn me alive? Come on, it was just a few sparks. Says you. You weren't the one holding it. There's enough sparks flying around here just with you two talking. Anyway, now that we know this is a remote for an igniter, let's see that for a second. Well, Well, this is definitely a little transmitter. The signal's weak. Probably only reaches 30 feet. A transmitter, huh? Remote trigger updated in the courtroom. Court record. Incidentally, if you look at a cross-section diagram of the stage area, let's see 30 feet from Lamira's dressing room. That covers the backstage completely. It also looks like it would cover the stage. It kind of seems unlikely anyone would use this on stage. So we got the form diagram. Guess I'd best be getting on with my investigation. We're off to look for more clues elsewhere then. I feel better just knowing what this thing is now. I'll have to look into igniters a bit more later. Good luck. I'd like to know a bit more about igniters myself. And we add that to the evidence list for the court record. All right, so let's move. Let's go outside. What? Come to laugh at the murderer? Darian? That old bag opens her pie hole, and wham bam, my life goes down the chute. Thanks. They won't let me work now while I'm a suspect. Darian isn't in the best moods. Is it the best of moods, is he? Not many people are these days, it seems. It is a crime scene. Not exactly the happiest place to hang out. Then Gavin had to go rub salt in the wound. My alibi's rock solid. Rock solid. Alright, well, let's ask some questions. First, about the alibi. So, about your alibi. You have to ask, the shooting happened right in the middle of the third set. That's right. The music was blaring when we heard those gunshots and found Mr. Lathouse dead. I got 10,000 witnesses who saw me too, right there on that stage. Your guitar playing was something else. See, the thing is that Trucy's a witness, while Apollo did see the aftermath. Like, he didn't see the murder take place, but he did see the aftermath of it. Thanks, little lady. See? This whole thing's a sham. I can't believe they aren't letting me work. There's no need to yell at me. It's Lamira's fault. She was the one who said she heard his voice at the moment of the crime. Man, I never even talked to that old windbag. How could she possibly identify me? They won't let you work? He won't let me work. Gavin says I gotta lie low till the suspicion is cleared. What suspicion? He can't be such a stick in the mud. Mr. Gavin, a stick in the mud? That's an understatement. He may look all flashy and showy, but he's straight as an arrow, man. Except when he's depressed. You hear him whining the other day? Oh, you mean the thing with the mixing board. And then there was that performance just now. What was that all about? This part is off. Which is that? Second guitar. Ah. It was you, Darian. He's just a perfectionist is all. Not a bad guy, really. Well, I think the Gaviners are the best. I have all your albums. The band's fine too. Gavin can write a good tune. I'll give him that. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Prosecutor Gavin around much. Oh, him? He's down at the prosecutor's office, most likely. The prosecutor's office? I've never been there, have I? The data on the victim should have come from the Interpol. Normally, I'd be down there dealing with it. Normally. Apollo, let's go check it out. I've always wanted to go see the prosecutor's office. Maybe that's not such a bad idea. Right on. Say hi for me, okay? Oh, and screw you. And tell him I want into that crime scene. We'll be going now. Hey, wait. Yes? What do you really think happened? Really? You don't think I did it, right? Well, great. What do you still got with such confidence, with some confidence? Just remember, I was ripping up on stage when it happened, okay? Ripping. Don't get led astray by some siren song, eh? Get this one wrong, and you'll be eating humble pie for a year. I'll bake it myself. Humble pie, you say? Let's not talk to him anymore, alright? Detective Darian Crescent. He's one stone I'd leave unturned if I had a choice. If he's a suspect, why is he just free? I have no idea. I honestly don't know. Like, you'd think that he would have actually been, like, locked up But the thing is that apparently, apparently they don't have enough evidence, like just her word. But Machi's not off the hook just yet. Let's go to Gavin's office. Let's see what he has to say. So, this is it. The Governor's head office. It's not the band's office, it's the prosecutor's office. Yeah, so that's why I'm asking. What is this creepy thing, object, whatever? Looks like Prosecutor Gavin is on the phone. Oh well, guess we'll have to come back. Or we can hide beneath that bookshelf real quiet like. That's eavesdropping! Why? We just be waiting. Quietly. So he won't notice. What if we heard something scandalous about the band? She'd make a good reporter. For a gossip bag. What? A replica? So why was he out there in the first place? Yeah, let's house? Let's house? Look, don't talk to me about those Borgians, okay? Just get me that report, chop chop. And stop leaving mysterious objects in my office, okay? It sounds like these when I start to miss Darian. Huh? Hiya. See, just thought we'd drop in. Hope you're not mad. How could I be? There's not enough tee in the world in any case. Have a seat. Prosecutor Gavin, the philanthropist. Watch and learn, Apollo. So, who have you come to see? Huh? Clavier, lead vocalist for the Gavineers? Or Prosecutor Gavin, scourge of the courtroom? What do you think he means, Apollo? I think he's giving us a choice. We could either ask him about the concerts or the case. Which way to go? Let's talk about the case. Ah, that reminds me. Did you see the paper today? Yes. I always read the TV section. Good girl. How about you, her forehead? I read the funnies. Then you will not have seen this. Concert of Tragedy, the prosecutor's deadly song. Ooh, is that the new show? I haven't heard about that one. The name Darian makes me think of Sailor Moon. Yeah, Darian. It's not a show, it's an article, news, you know. Yeah, because that was the name that they used for the localized version in Japan. And the redub, they changed his name to the redub version, which is his original name, Mamoru Chiba. But he still tuxedo mask. So that shit was an article, news, you know. Oh, does this have anything to do with the case? Since getting back from the trial, my phone has been ringing off the hook. How does it feel to take a man's life with a song? Have you ever hummed a man all the way to death row? Do you think you could sing for me over the phone? It is endless. Endless. Thanks to the case you made today, of course. Oh, that was all Apollo's idea. Hey. Is that a newspaper over there too? Ah, yes. The Borknian Daily Bugle. Go ahead, take a look. The Borknian Daily Bugle, they completely ripped that the Daily Bugle from Spider-Man. Thanks, but I can't read Borknian. Oh, that's right. Suffice it to say, this is big news over there as well. Though they didn't go so far as to mention the lyrics to my song. Probably no one in Borgnia could believe it. It's probably seen as just a theory at this point. Their journalists didn't see the need to mention it. That makes sense. I hardly know what to think of it myself. So we add that. Lamira's testimony will probably be in the evening edition, I imagine. Which is why I had Darian step down for the investigation for now. Yep. We ran into him moping in front of the Coliseum. Lamador was my invited guest, so it's a rather delicate situation. You understand how much I wanted to solve this case, quickly as possible. I really love that song. It has such a great atmosphere to it. You co-wrote it with Lamira, if I remember correctly? That's right. It was last year. I had gone to tour Borgnia's legal system, as a matter of fact. And that's when you heard Lamira's voice? It was at a small jazz club. I wept that night. I knew I had to meet her, talk with her. so I used my influence, which is not inconsiderable, to arrange a meeting. Wow, prosecutors really have a lot of clout. I think it's sort of a special case, Trucy. Thankfully, she liked the work I did, and we wrote a song right there, backstage. Machi on piano, the dulcet voice, and myself on guitar that I borrowed from Lamira. And music history was made. Probably not an experience your average lawyer would ever have, like Apollo would say. It is a memory I hold dear, and the song we wrote that night was this. And the very guitar is right over there. You mean, this charred lump. Don't call it a lump, that's a piece of history. And it's only brown, not really charred. No matter, I shall never sing that song again. I wouldn't have used that guitar again either, even if I could have. What happened during that song anyway? Why did his guitar suddenly catch on fire? Do you think you can show it to us? Your charred, slightly burnt guitar? I'm sure he doesn't mind. What more could happen to it? Let's examine. That was an impressive bit of pyrotechnics that did this. That's the guitar from the concert, isn't it? I thought it was one of the staff playing a gag on me. I never guessed that wasn't the end of it. I had a specialist analyze the guitar incidentally. Oh, did you find anything out? He didn't have a lot of time, so it's still unclear. But the results he came up with were intriguing. Intriguing? How does the guitar tie into everything that went down? Sounds like something we should ask about. What's wrong, Apollo? You look confused. I was just wondering where the work chair in this office was. You're looking at my favorite chair right now? That's a massage chair, isn't it? I love the ones with vibrating rolls on your back. Those feel great. That's a ergonomic adjustable office. Did I say something wrong? No, I merely realized the futility of an explanation. What's that on the plate there? Is that gum? Gum? Maybe he was chewing it when the phone rang. So he put it on the plate for later consumption. Think a rockstar could afford a fresh stick? Don't jump to any conclusions now. That's no chewing gum. Take a closer look. Although I really shouldn't be offering, should I? What's that? It looks like a lump of plastic. Wait, that phone call. Yeah, so that's why I'm asking. What is this creepy thing? Object, whatever. Looks like Prosecutor Gavin's on the phone. What? A replica? So why was he after it in the first place? Yeah, let's house. Prosecutor Gavin, does this have something to do with Mr. Lithouse? Wait a sec. You were listening to my phone call, weren't you? Who, us? I tried to stop him, really, but he forced me to. Hey, you were the one digging for a scandal, Miss Reporter. To tell you the truth, I'm not even sure what it is. But apparently it's a model of something undercover agent Mr. Lithouse is after. This lump. Would you mind telling us what you do know about it? Let's talk about the guitar first. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful instrument. It was played lovingly for many years. A guitar befitting a woman like Lamira. How did it end up here? She gave it to me. I mentioned how much I enjoyed playing it that night, and she made a present of it. So this guitar is from Borgnia. That it is. We couldn't carry it on the plane. Changes in the air pressure and humidity ruined the wood, so we vacuum packed it in Lamira's studio. I used a special shipping service available to me for transporting the evidence. They brought it right up to my office for me. Pristine and untouched. See, prosecutors do have a lot of clout. I still think he's a special case. Such a valuable guitar. It's too bad it got burned. I added that. What was it that you were saying earlier? Something about intriguing results from an examination of the guitar? That's right. What was that all about? Well, you know how guitars have a round hole in the front? It's called the sound hole. Ah, so that's what it's called. Well, they found something attached to the wood just inside the hole. A broken device of some sort. A broken device? Yes. This, in fact. The examiner is busy with the evidence for the case now, however, so he'll be checking this out once he's finished with everything else. But that's one piece of evidence right there. Odd. The device looks strangely familiar. Yeah, because I happen to have this. There has to be one of these. What is it, Apollo? That device that was found on your guitar. Take a look at this. Why, that looks like the same thing. What is it? It's an igniter. Another one? It was at the crime scene. In Lamidar's dressing room. Detective Sky found it, actually. At the scene of the crime? What could that mean, I wonder? Alright, let's talk about that strange lump. This was found in Mr. Littauss's bag. It's apparently a replica of something. A replica? It's a small lump, about 1.5 inches long. We analyzed it, but there's not much to say other than it's a lump of plastic. Perhaps it was to be used in the identification of whatever it is a replica of. You mean, whatever Mr. Littauss was after. That seems to be the most logical explanation. Well, what is it? Don't ask me, Fraulein. Oh, if you don't want to tell us, you can just say so. I put in a request to Interpol via my contacts in Borgnia, but apparently there is a block on information somewhere along the chain. Oh. There's something either Interpol or Borgnia doesn't want to share. So think about this little piece of plastic. Mr. Littauss went through all that trouble to become Lamy Mura's manager, just to come to this country to find out more about this lump, and he died for it. I sent someone to the Coliseum to fetch Lamira. Perhaps she knows something about it, being a Borgnian. I believe that covers everything I'm at liberty to talk to you about. Oh, thanks for dropping by, Hair Forehead. Thanks? Why you gave me so much information? That igniter, for instance. Oh, that? I've never met an attorney so forthcoming with the prosecution. It's a big help. Or perhaps you're just a tad naive. I guess I could have hit it, but somehow showing it felt like the right thing. I could say the same thing to you, Prosecutor Gavin. Thanks for the information. About their strange lump of plastic. The one that Mr. Littauss was investigating. Hey, that's right. I've been thinking, Her Forehead. We encounter many incidents in our lives, all of us. Not all of them are simple. Especially not the ones where people are killing to song lyrics. That is why I try to at least remain simple inside. And I keep a simple goal, to discover the truth. That's why I like to keep relations civil, yeah? That is all. I can live with that. Mr. Prosecutor? Marlene? Can I ask you why you sing in a band? Ah, because I want women to turn and look when I walk down the street. That's pretty simple, too. Kind of sounds a bit narcissistic, doesn't it? Now, if you excuse me, I got work to do. Another time, perhaps. Alright, so, while he's working, let's go back to the Sunshine Coliseum, and we'll use that as a way to move through, but unfortunately, we have company. Oh, it's you. You came at a good time. Hello there, Emma. What's up? Either of you know where Lamida is? Well, I saw her in the backstage hallway a while ago. Yeah, that's strange. What's strange? I can't find her anywhere. I was supposed to bring her to the prosecutor's office. Lamida's missing? It's hard to imagine her wandering off somewhere on her own. Being that she's blind and all. Yeah, we'll help you look for her. Great, thanks. Alright, so let's go. So she's missing, we gotta look for her. Let's go to the backstage hallway. This place is deserted. I wonder where Lamina went off to. I'm sure she's okay on her own. I guess. But I can't help worry about her a little. Alright, let's go to the stage. It's dark. Huh. The stage is pitch dark. The power breaker must be off in this section. Great. I'll go get someone. Yipes. It was really dark out there. Dark. That's all Laminar has, when you think about it. What would it be like to live in a world of darkness? Hey, Apollo. Huh? What? Does something about the stage seem different to you? Like something's changed. Well, I don't see the tower anymore. But it looks like there was something here added. I want to take a look around. Changed. I can't put my finger on it, but it's bugging me. Now it's bugging me too. What you talking about? Like, I don't see that, like, there was a tower there before, but now it's gone. But what about this case right here? Let me see this. This was open before, but it's closed. Hey, that case. Wasn't that open before? Huh? I guess someone closed it. Wait. Look. Where the case closes. Something's sticking out. That doesn't look like an instrument. You don't think it's... Let's open it, Apollo. Eek! Labrador! Labrador! Emma! We have to get Emma! Labrador was taken directly to the hospital. Emma ran around barking orders, making phone calls. Trucy just clung to my arm and cried. And me, I was still in shock. 2 bodies in 2 days is too many. Alright. Emma, how's Labrador? Is she okay? Ah, you. We all owe you a big thanks for sure. So, she's okay? Yes, she came to a short while ago. You found her before it was too late. That's good to hear. So, what happened? Someone attacked her. She was struck on the forehead. By who? We don't know. But they hit her on the forehead, right? That's right in front of her. Yeah, this band is sus as hell, absolutely. There's probably something... There's something that Gavin must be hiding that we don't even know about. How could she not see? Oh. Right. Would you like to see her now? Is that alright? She wants to thank you for saving her life. Labrador! Ah, Mr. Attorney, you were the one who found me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm just glad you're okay. Tell me, what happened? It was after I spoke with you in front of the dressing room. I sensed someone approaching. I thought it might be someone coming to see me, but they said nothing. When I went to return to my dressing room, you were hit? I knew that very moment. I knew. The assailant was trying to kill me. No. It was lucky for me that the first blow did not knock me out. I turned and ran for the stage. Someone was chasing me. I could hear footsteps. Yet I reached the stage first. Why the stage? I had overheard maintenance people talking. The power to the stage area was off, they said, for electrical work. Ah. Darkness is my ally. There was a contrabass plate case near the stage. That is where I hid. So the assailant couldn't see you. Once in the case, I'm afraid I passed out. Wow, that sounds like a really close call. Do you have any idea who might have been? Unfortunately, no. Whoever it was, they said not a word. Too bad. Yet, when I considered that I was struck high on the forehead, I must conclude that whoever hit me was taller than I am. Good point. She's sharp. And you're much taller than I am. You're about as tall as Apollo. So that means it was likely an adult, and probably a man. Could it be him? But why would anyone attack you, Lamina? The detective asked me this too. And to her I gave the same answer I gave you. I do not know. She's not going to be able to see it, but I want to present this. Ah, Lamina, I wanted to ask you about this. Do you know what this is? This? This is what? Mr. Lathouse was carrying it. It's a replica of the thing he was after. He was after? You know, in his secret identity, as an undercover agent. So that's what he was doing. You mean you know what? Yes, I know, of course. This must be a Borgnian cocoon. Or rather, a convincing replica thereof. Why haven't I heard of a Borgnian cocoon before? Why would he be carrying this around? Was it some kind of souvenir? I wonder. Well, they call it the Borgnian. It must only be found in Borgnia. For certain, all in Borgnia know of these. It's a cocoon. So, do you get silk from it? I do not know the details, I'm sorry to say. I thought you said all in Borgnia knew of these. There's one fact that I do know about the cocoon, though. Something all in Borgnia know. What's that? The cocoons. They're not to be taken out of the country. If someone does and is caught, they will be put to death. To death? Why? I do not know. Yet, if Interpol was involved, I'm sure there is a good reason. But this is just a piece of plastic. He was carrying a replica, but looking for the real deal. That's my best guess. So that's what he was up to. Tracking down Borgnia cocoon smuggling. It seems I was marked. Marked? Life changed for me with the popularity of my songs. I began to travel around the world. Ah, so you could have brought those Borgnia cocoons with you. On my trips, yes. That was probably the suspicion. And Mr. Latous was placed as an undercover agent to look for it. Borgnia is a small, sheltered country. Not many of our people venture into the world outside. Is that why they suspected you? But Mr. Latous wasn't a Borgnian, was he? He was an Interpol agent, which means... What, Apollo? There must be some reason why Borgnia doesn't want those cocoons getting out. Something scary enough to get Interpol involved. Huh, like what? How could such a tiny ball of thread cause such a commotion? Cocoon smuggling. Mr. Latous had Laminar marked. It couldn't be her. Huh. There's one other person you need to talk to. Thank you for talking to us, Laminar. It was the least I could do. Actually, I have another request. If it's within my power, I need an interpreter, someone who speaks Borgnian. Apollo. Would you come with us, if you were well enough? I see. Yes, of course. I shall accompany you. Huh? Where are we going? Come on, Trucy. We're about to get to the bottom of this. So now we're at the detention center. Machi, we came to talk to you about the case. Machi. Could you interpret for us, Laminar? Yes. Machi, I'd like to talk to you about when we first met. When we still thought you were blind. Now we know the truth. You could see it. You could see, right? I was completely fooled myself. Machi, isn't there another secret you're hiding from us? Wait, Mr. Attorney, what do you mean by secret? What do I mean by secret? Well, let's present the replica. If I'm not mistaken, you know something about this, don't you? Hey, you got a reaction, a big one. Machi, you didn't. Trucy and I are trained to see people's uncertainty. Not that we would have needed any training to see that one. Mr. Attorney, please tell me what this is all about. Laminar, please interpret. Very well. I know you know something about this by your reaction. If you won't tell me, I might have to give it to the prosecution and have them look into it. He asked you to wait. Do not be so hasty. Machi? Do you know everything? Yes, everything. Well, sort of. Have him tell us about it. Very well. Alright. It's time to talk. What is this cocoon anyway? The cocoon, the silk, is a potent cure. A cure? It must cure some disease. It's a cure for incuritis. A cure for incuritis? Huh. But if it's a cure, why keep it in Borgnia like that? Just think of all the lives they could save by sharing the medicine. I do not understand the reasons myself. Okay, well at least we know what it is. A cure. And Mr. Latous is after cocoon smugglers. Wait, was Machi? Machi, you weren't. He couldn't be a smuggler, he's so little. Well, you're only 15 and you're sort of a magician, aren't you? Well, that's true. I am sort of a magician. She says sorta. Oh, to have a copy of that security camera tape. Well, Machi, are you a smuggler? He won't tell me. First he plays blind, now he plays dumb. I wonder, do you think he brought a cocoon here to sell to someone? If Machi really did bring one into the country, was he planning on making a deal for its sale? I can't go home. Can't go home? I can't go home to Borgnia. I do not want to go home. The penalty for taking a cocoon from Borgnia is death. That's right, it's punishable by death. About the case. What about the case? He wants to tell us about Mr. Lataus' death. This meeting is over. Darian! What do you mean? Visiting hours aren't over yet. There's a call from Machi from the Borgnian embassy. This meeting is over. Sorry. Just give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that. Sorry, no go. Come on, piano boy. We're leaving. Darian, wait. I never liked you, either of you. Huh? Darn it, we're so close. He was about to tell us. Hey, Apollo. He didn't want us to hear what Machi had to say. Apollo. And there can only be one reason why. Gotta work on stuff. Still listening and I'm hella engrossed? Yeah. Do what you gotta do when it comes to work. Why is everyone ignoring me? Oh, sorry. This is it. I know who I'm after now. It all happens tomorrow in court. Alright, well, now for the trial. Not wasting any time, we're going in. We're locked in. We are locked the fuck in. Let's go. Well, this is it. Today's the day it all goes down. And then there was yesterday. This meeting is over. Sorry. Just give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that. Sorry, no go. Come on, piano boy. We're leaving. Darian, wait. I never liked you. Either of you. Huh? Darn it, we were so close. He was about to tell us. Hey, Apollo. He didn't want us to hear what Machi had to say. Alright. Can you guys give me a moment, please? Sorry about that. And I think I know why. Time to bring down a little justice. Huh? Well, what was that? He is heard but unseen. Who's that talking? Valiant grammar ye. I exclaimed as he walked in through the door normally. You aren't the witness today, aren't you, Uncle Valiant? Preposterous position. How can I stand to stand upon the stand? Why, my secrets would be free for the plucking. I might even have to sign autographs. That is why I intend to remain hidden for the entire day. Ooh, with vanishing magic? Indeed, I will jump upon the express train and express myself to the next town over. But before I go, I heed a warning. Warning? What? A grand grammary glamour resides at the root of all that has happened. Do not forget this truth. A glamour? A spell, a sorcery, a great illusion. Miss Trucy, though it pains me to part so, I need to get in line for a ticket. Farewell. And there he goes. He sure seemed happy about that illusion thing. Oh, big illusions are the bread and butter of a magician. You can't pull off a show without one. The big illusion is always a spectacle to remember. Usually it involves Wait, slow down. Usually involves cutting up things like people or elephants, or the Eiffel Tower. Anything, really. So he was talking about what we saw at the concert. Laminor's disappearing act. And Prosecutor Gavin's exploding guitar. I wonder what he meant by it being at the root of it all that's happened. Well, it's about time. Shall we go? Ah, excuse me, sir. Yes? The scheduled starting time for the trial has been changed. The trial will not be commencing until 10:30 a.m. Sorry for the inconvenience. Huh? Did something happen? This is the first. It was by the judge's request, some urgent personal business. Great. I bet he stayed up too late last night watching courtroom dramas. Apparently he's visiting the hospital again. The hospital? I believe it was mentioned that the Chief Justice's son is unwell. Apparently his condition worsened considerably this morning. The Chief Justice's son. Oh, that's right. Remember yesterday morning, the judge said he had to go visit him after the trial? There's an article about it in the newspaper, if you care to read about it yourself. Ooh, okay. Incuritis? Where have I heard that before? I'll let you read that article first, Apollo. Just leave the TV guide the page to me. Try not to lose the page with the funnies if you can. Now it hits 10:30 in terms of in-game time. My apologies for the delay. Court is now essential for the trial of how do you say his name again? Machi Tobaye, our suspect, Fortissimo. Right. It's his trial in any case. The defense is prepared, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready to rock. Is something wrong, Your Honor? No, well, yes. It's just I've been friends with the Chief Justice since we were students. It pains me to see him going through such a difficult time. Incuritis, was it? The article said there was no known cure. Her Judge, let me say, with all honesty, I feel your pain. But now is not the time for tears. Now is the time for law. Indeed. Damn. Cutting to the chase, I see. We left off at quite the juncture yesterday. I asked Interpol about that number, IPXXB14206. The agent registered under this number was Romain Latos. Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Kress said. It's a great help. Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out. And this is where Lamira says that she heard his voice. Wait, that voice just now. It was him. I am sure of it. It was him? That voice I heard, talking to Mr. Latos when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darien. No way. Quite a sensational ending. Who would have thought Darien would guest star in a season of The Cliffhanger as a suspect? I asked the prosecution to look into this matter. Please tell the court your findings. Darien Crescent is a member of my band, the Gaviniers. He's also a detective, making the current charges serious indeed. Yet, after investigation, I have found no cause to alter our case or file new charges. And your reason is? Weren't you aware of her forehead? He has an impeccable alibi. An alibi? Let us review the facts again, shall we? The concert held on the night of the shooting was in 3 sets. The Gaviniers ripped up the stage during the first set. For the second set, our guests took center stage. The only performers appearing were myself, Lamina, and Machi, along with a drummer and a bassist, for a total of 5. The shooting in the dressing room, however, took place during the third set. Lamina and the defendant, Machi Tobaya, had left the stage at that point. And the Gaviniers were already rocking. This is when 2 shots rang out of the scene of the crime. Shots heard by Detective Emma Sky, mind you. And Apollo, you heard them too, right? I sure did. Furthermore, Lamina herself witnessed the moment of the crime. Well, perhaps I should say she heard the moment of the crime, when she claims to have heard Mr. Latos and Detective Crescent talking. But that's impossible. Detective Crescent was... Precisely. Detective Crescent was on stage, getting his groove on, no less. Voila. A perfect alibi. Does his events have anything to add to this? It's true. When I heard those gunshots, he must have been on stage. Still, there's something here that doesn't quite add up. It appears the defense has no objections. I believe we can safely say that Darien Crescent's alibi has been acknowledged, which means that Lamina was sadly mistaken. Her testimony cannot be true. Very well. Of course, if we disregard her testimony, then I see no evidence keeping us from declaring a verdict. If indeed there are no other objections. Apollo, if he declares a verdict now, Prosecutor Gavin's case is airtight. Lamina might be lying to protect Machi? How can I rely on her testimony? Wait, what about yesterday in the detention center? About the case. What about the case? He wants us to tell us about Mr. Latos' death. This meeting's over. Darien? Machi was trying to tell us something. I know it. Maybe the best thing to do is ask him. Under oath. Very well. The court finds the defendant, what his name was again? Your Honor. No, that wasn't it. It was something like Marquise or Mr. Justice. Your Honor, before you declare a verdict, I would like to call another witness. Exactly who else do you need to hear from? A witness who, until now, has not been given a chance to speak in this court. Because he doesn't speak English. You don't mean... I do. The defense calls defendant Machi Tobaya to the stand. But what? But he doesn't speak English. We'll use an interpreter. Interpreter? I'm afraid you'll have to look elsewhere. I only speak a few phrases such as I love you and where is the toilet. The defense would like to request Lamina as the interpreter. Lamina? but there's a possibility she's protecting the defendant. But she be interpreting for the defendant. Why would she lie? This is most unusual. Bravo, her forehead. Her judge. The prosecution agrees with the defendant's request. If Lamina lies, I'll be able to tell. Even my limited knowledge of the language should be enough for that. Well, if both prosecution and defense are for this, I see little cause for refusal. Finally, some progress. Bailiff, please show the defendant and Lamina to the witness stand. I suppose there's a first time for everything. Shall we proceed? Your name, to begin with, if you would, Lamina. Yes. He says Machi Tobaye, the defendant. This is certainly a first for this courtroom. Not that we really need an interpretation of that message in particular. So far, so good. Very well. Mr. Justice, if you would? Huh? If I would what, Your Honor? Would what? You called the defendant to the stand, did you not? What would you have him testify about? What do I want to testify about? I hadn't thought of that far yet. Apollo, aren't you going to ask him what he was about to tell us yesterday? How can I if I don't know what he was saying? Excuse me a moment, if I might speak. Yes, Lamina. Just now, Machi said there is something about which he wishes to testify. Machi wants to testify about something. What could it be? What sort of testimony is he talking about? One moment, please. This suspense is killing me. What? What? Well, Lamina, according to Machi, he has proof of his innocence. What? This is a surprise. Yahoo, victory, Apollo, we did it. This is sounding too good to believe, and I know what that usually means. Well, if that's true, then this is final testimony. Machi, please testify to the court. Very well. Proof of innocence. He says that word of Mr. Latouse's death came as a great shock. But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, he could not have done it. He says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them. I see. He wouldn't have understood the English lyrics to the song. That would prevent him from following them so closely. I wonder what he meant by proof, while he would only have to ask Lamina to know the meaning of that song. Lamina, did you ever explain the lyrics of that song to him? I did tell him generally what the song was about, but never in so much detail, and he never asked. Has my oft-repeated warning already fled that forehead? Lamina might be protecting the witness. Well, anyway, let us proceed with the cross-examination. Mr. Justice, if you would. Yes, Your Honor. Something hidden in that testimony. I know it. I'll just have to trust my bracelet to tell me where. It worked yesterday. It'll work today. Okay, let's go.
Ready. Fight!
Let's fight this. I know where I'm gonna go for this. We are going to perceive right now. Right here, in this statement, right here. When the time is right. I saw the eyes move, so around there. Machi, you can't fool my eyes. You glanced toward her the very moment Lamina said the word English. Why? And don't bother interpreting that, he understands me. Machi, tell the truth. You can understand English, can't you? What are you saying? Of course he can't. Must he continue this charade? Mr. Justice, Machi says this. I know the word English. Huh? Before coming to this country, he heard me speaking English. He learned the name for this language, that's all. What? Give me a break. Is that such an unusual word to understand? Do you not know Espanol, for instance? That's Spanish. For Spanish. Well, yeah, but... I'm sorry, but he truly does not understand your language. Well, then explain this. How does he know the crime followed the lyrics? Have you always been such a suspicious-minded lad? It's simple. So simple it hardly requires an explanation. He read about it in the newspaper. The newspaper? The Borgnian Daily Bugle. You can buy it in this country these days, you know. They have already begun to report about this case in our homeland. I was right. What is wrong, Mr. Justice? Your eyes, they're quite fierce all of a sudden. Machi is lying. Maybe it's time to show him proof that he's lying. This one. Take that! I have here a Borgnian newspaper. The Borgnian Daily Bugle, as a matter of fact. Indeed. There is a feature about the case. A feature article about the case. Could you read this for me, Machi? That's right. It doesn't mention the lyrics. Oh, what? What is this all about? I'm sorry, Machi. You couldn't have read about the lyrics in the Borgnian newspaper. Got him. And to think we're supposed to be defending him. What does this mean? But I don't see how it's possible. Ah, I know. He must have heard the lyrics when the police were doing their questioning, yes? Not possible. The subject of the lyrics was not brought up in police questioning. I read the full report myself. So the lyrics weren't in the newspaper and the police didn't mention them. The only place you could have heard them was in this courtroom. In English, no less. The witness will explain herself, himself. Machi says, he says, yes. It is true I read the newspaper. But this is not where I learned of the lyrics. I was mistaken. Now, I remember. You remember. He says he heard of the lyrics from me. But, what? Is this true, Lamida? Yes. I'm afraid that I have forgotten it myself. Then it looks like her forehead's been jumping to conclusions again. It seems so, yes. No. I was onto something. I know it. I can't let this chance slip away. Time is the issue today. Mr. Justice, are you finished with the cross-examination? What are you going to do, Apollo? If I'm going to keep on cross-examining, I better have an angle of attack. Or else. My brace is still reacting. Your Honor, please allow me to continue. If you must, you must. Very well. Witness, I understand. It was I who explained the crime that followed the song. I'm perceiving that. I believe, yeah. Here again. Yeah, her neck was moving up and down around here. Gotcha! I wanted to check. So, yeah. Lamina, I'm currently cross-examining Machi. Why should you be uncertain? Me? Uncertain? Yes, you swallowed the very moment you told the court it was I who explained. I see there was little point in trying to hide anything from you. Lamina, are you indeed protecting someone? That is not a question with a simple answer. To tell the truth, I do not believe in myself. Then allow me to answer for you. Lamina, you're protecting... So the one person she's protecting. Take that! Lamina, you are protecting Machi. That's why you lied and told us that you had explained how the crime followed the song. I don't fault you for trying to help, but this is not the way. Machi, I believe you didn't do it. Really. I trust you. But you lied to us twice. And now you have Laminar lying on your behalf. If this is going to work, you have to trust me too. Your two lies cover a simple truth. You understand English? You have to. Ah! There we go. Got it. Ooh. Oh shit. Witness. Is this true? Do you understand English? Yes. Yes, a little, only. There we go. What? First he could see, now he could talk. And you? Did not know about this Lamidar? No. I did not. It's quite a surprise. How many secrets is this witness hiding? Last. This is last. Machi, could you tell us what really happened? No shooting. I did no shooting. So you weren't in the dressing room when I heard those 2 gunshots, correct? Apparently the answer to that question isn't simple either. I was in dressing room behind desk, manager, he on floor. Which would be after the shooting, right? Then there is voice. Voice or voices? Was it you and Emma, Apollo? So when Machi went into the dressing room, Mr. Lataus had already been shot. And then we came to the door. Paddle high up, I take off. Run away, run away. So it was you who escaped through that air vent. As the prosecution has upheld all along no less. The defendant has admitted to being at the scene. Might we take this as a confession? No, he's clearly denied that he did it. I know shooting. Manager on floor. Already on floor. The victim had already been shot, you say? I find that hard to believe. The defendant understood the song lyrics. He was at the scene of the crime. This can only mean one thing. He is the shooter. Does the defendant have anything to say to this? He's planned up, Apollo. Then let's ask Mr. Justice. Will he require any further testimony from the witness? Is that it? Is there nothing else I can get him to testify about? Wait, no, of course there is. What's this cocoon anyway? The cocoon, the silk is a potent cure. A cure? Well, Machi, are you a smuggler? Give me one. Sorry about that. Just had to do something. He won't tell me. That cocoon has to have something to do with this. Machi, please, tell us the truth for your own sake. No, no more speak. Not to any of you. So much for your precious trust, her forehead. Hey, you were the one who didn't believe him. Regardless, this brings us to an impasse. It does seem that the defense and the defendant are at odds. I doubt we're likely to learn anything more of value should this continue. I see you on the course, but declare a 5-minute recess. The defense will work things out with the defendant so that we might proceed. Yeah, that's a lot. Apollo Eustace. That's justice, but I don't know how to save you and want to get some. Believe, I know shooting. Machi claims Mr. Lataus was already down on the ground when he entered the room. Maybe it was a trap, and he walked right into it. Suddenly, I hear revolver, close, very close. Then I hear a voice. You heard gunshots? Yes, it is true. I hear revolver, but only sound. Well, you're saying you went into the dressing room and found Mr. Lataus already dead, and then you heard shots? If that's true, so you were at the scene of the crime when you heard those shots, and you escaped through the air vent. I know. Huh? What do you know? I know if I opening vent, I can leave stage and backstage. So the vents went to both the stage and the backstage area. Is that what he means? Hey, he's right. Look, Apollo. Huh. Yeah. But how did you know it was connected like that? Wait, I bet his father was the architect that designed the hall or something. I hear this from Magician. Magician? Don't look at me. A magician, huh? Well, at least we're clear on one thing. Machi didn't shoot Mr. Lataus. Yeah, but what does that leave us with? We're supposed to say he went into the room to find the body and then he heard the shots? That one's going to go over well in court. Not. Apollo, you're his defense. You're supposed to believe whatever he says. Even lies. That's what Daddy always told me. I'll just pretend you'd misheard him every time. So what do we do? You sure you won't testify, Machi? No talking. No. Huh. Well, it was worth a shot. Cocoon. I can't go home. Can't go home. I can't go home to Borgnia. I do not want to go home. The penalty for taking a cocoon for Borgnia is death. That's right. It's punishable by death. Of course, he's scared. Oh well. I guess we'll have to just try a different approach. That's the spirit, Apollo. So what's your plan? If Machi will testify about it, we'll have to get someone else to testify. Someone else? I think we're out of time. Let's get back in there. Right. So... Court is now back in session. Mr. Justice, have you sorted things out with the defendant? Yes, Your Honor. We had a good talk. Very well. So, will he testify? Your Honor, the defendant will not testify. But what? Shame. And here I thought this was your big chance to turn the case around. Actually, it is. The defense would like to approach this case from a different angle, Your Honor. A different angle? If Machi will testify, then I know who will. I would like to cross-examine the witness in this case. Laminor. Laminor?
Objection!
What are you up to now? I thought we determined yesterday that Laminor's testimony was insubstantial. There's nothing you can... Laminor was taken to the hospital yesterday with injuries. What happened? She was assaulted, Your Honor. Assaulted? Someone wanted Laminor dead. Thankfully, she was able to save herself. What? I've heard no such report. Prosecutor Gavin? Why would anyone be out to kill Laminor? Can you think of a reason? Well, think of how she is known in our country. A singer from overseas who doesn't speak English, yes? Yet someone tried to keep her mouth shut. Who could have that been? You don't think. I do. It was the same person who shot Mr. Lathouse. The killer was afraid of her. Afraid of what she might say. The defense believes that something was hidden in her testimony yesterday. Something that the killer doesn't want getting out. So am I to understand that this is what you're saying? Namely, that there is a nugget of truth in Laminor's testimony? A nugget we have yet to uncover. Exactly. If Laminor was attacked, this has serious implications. Very well. There were some vague points in her testimony during yesterday's trial. Perhaps we did not inquire as deeply as we might have into some. The court will hear Laminor's testimony once more. Laminor, I must apologize. We must ask you to stand again and speak. You need not apologize. I know that Machi's innocent, and I will do all that I can until the court realizes this. Let's review your testimony from yesterday. You told us you heard 2 gunshots and the shooter's voice through the window. And that voice belonged to Darien Crescent, yes? That is correct. At which point I proved she could not be correct. She couldn't have heard any of those things. The small window at the scene was closed and was found to be quite soundproof. You have nothing to say to that, Mr. Justice? I don't know exactly what yet, but I do know there's something there. There is, it seems, much you do not know. And yet it's my duty to hear him out. Perhaps the witness would be so kind as to testify once more to the court. Of course, Your Honor. Alright. It's time to hear the testimony. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. That's when I heard them, Mr. Lathouse and the detective. I heard the faint sound of a gunshot and stopped. Then I heard another gunshot. There was the smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past a small window. Pretty much the same as yesterday's testimony. I am so sorry. I am not used to speaking much in this language. Perhaps my descriptions are lacking in some way. Yet everything I have said here is the truth. It is my displeasure to say this. What you have said has to have happened is impossible. Do I have to repeat myself? Laminor was attacked because of this testimony. But what? Trucy? Apollo? You know, for a moment there, you were pretty cool. Maybe I do better when I don't try to think ahead. Very well, Mr. Justice. Perhaps you can coolly cross-examine this witness?
Ready.
Fight this off.
Fight!
Alright. We're gonna press over here.
Hold it!
Darien Crescent. I did not know his name at the time. But yes, it was him, the one who took the stand yesterday. How many times do I need to remind you that's impossible? There's no way you could have heard him. Because the window at the scene was closed. Is that why? Of course. Apollo, if we keep asking the same questions as yesterday, we won't get anywhere. She's right. Maybe there's a different angle I could try. What were they talking about? Laminor, do you by any chance remember what they were saying to each other? If so, please tell us. I have given it much reflection, but I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember. I only heard one phrase clearly. A whole phrase. You remember something that was said? Why didn't you say anything yesterday? Though my memory is clear, I was afraid to speak. You see, I do not understand what was said. This could be it. The clue I've been waiting for. Well, what did he say? It was the other man speaking, not Miss Lathouse. The shooter, then. Darien Crescent. Well, what did he say? It's over. Press the switch. Now. Switch? And the shooter said this is the victim, Mr. Lathouse. I thought it was quite strange myself afterwards. It is a mystery. What could it possibly mean? Mr. Justice, care to shed some light on this? Sure. I'd be delighted. It's very, very vital. Maybe we could add that to the testimony. Maybe, Apollo? From the small window, I heard a voice say, press the switch now. And this right here is where I present that remote trigger that's right here. Press the switch. There's only one key that can unlock the mystery of those words. Oh? Yet there was nothing at the scene that could be called a switch, save the lights. True, there wasn't a switch at the scene, but it just so happens I have a switch right here. That certainly does look like a switch, doesn't it? The problem is, this was found not at the scene of the crime, but on stage. The stage where the concert was held, yes. This was found hidden there, on the stage. Are you claiming that the voice Laminor heard was of someone commanding another to press the switch? It's a possibility.
Objection!
Oh, her forehead. I call that an impossibility. Why? It's hardly necessary for me to remind the court of the layout of the concert forum. The stage is quite far from Laminor's dressing room. Not to mention that the Gaviners were in the middle of a concert on said stage. We aren't known for being a quiet band. You can shout all you want and not be heard. The detective's voice was loud, but certainly not a shout. So to have her forehead's cry as a possibility falling far from short of being heard. Honestly, I just thought of something. So during the first investigation, right before the trial even started, when I was talking to Clavier on the stage, he mentioned he was whining about the performance and how Darian was pretty much not putting his 100%. And even you had the whole mixer thing, so you could easily hear. So that must be around the time where he might have actually commanded to press the switch. We'll see if that comes up. Sorry. But he wouldn't have needed to shout. Excuse me? You heard what I said, or do you need me to shout it out for you? It would have been quite simple to be heard on the stage from that dressing room. Oh wait, you like evidence, don't you? How about this? Using this, it would be easy to get a message from someone on stage in the dressing room. This headset transmitter. Prosecutor Gavin, perhaps you're familiar with this? Like that's... What is it? Is that some kind of newfangled phone they invented while I wasn't looking? This is a type of transmitter. A communications device. Communications device? From what I heard that night, everyone on stage was wearing one of these. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Ah, yes. Actually, they're for talking between band members. We all have one on. So you admit that if you were wearing one of these, talking from the backstage to the stage would be simple.
Objection!
True, but wait. Those send out an electronic signal. To avoid interference with the audio systems, their range is quite limited. Laminor said it was about 30 feet, right? Look at this cross-section diagram of this concert forum. Ah, exactly. The walk from the stage to the backstage seems far, but the direct distance is less than 30 feet. That can't be! So when Laminor heard the shooter's voice, he could have been talking to someone on stage.
Objection!
Ha! You're claiming this is the switch in question? Why did it have to be on the stage at the time? It could be placed in a pocket and carried anywhere. Someone could have hid it on the stage after the fact. Hey, he's got a point. How do we know where it was when she heard that voice? When the shooter said press the switch? Well, I guess we don't. An unfortunate situation. I'm afraid that until we know what this switch was, there's little point in debating it. I'm sure this was the way to go with this. What is this switch anyway? We don't even know the basic fact. Wait a second. I do know what the switch is. And if you follow that train of logic to its incredible conclusion, it ends up in the proof that completely changes the case. What's up, Apollo? Apollo? We knew about the switch, right? We know what it is. Yeah. Well, think of it when we used it, when it was used that day. Think of what happened. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further information to share concerning the switch, Your Honor? Yes, Mr. Justice? I've been remiss in not telling the court this before. I know what this switch is. Well, it seems the defense is set upon linking the switch to the case. Let's see your evidence of this link. What evidence do you have to explain what the switch is? Yeah, this igniter over here.
Take that!
Prosecutor Gavin, you remember this? Ah, that's that. That what? Is that another one of those newfangled phones? This is an igniter. What phone looks like this? Igniter? You mean it's like a lighter? Yes, actually. You aren't saying this switch is a remote. I am. This is a remote trigger for an igniter. What? Look, I'll show you. Yow. Mr. Justice, you will cease and desist from burning down this courtroom. Sorry, that was a bit more fire than I expected. And my whiskers had caught on fire. Prosecutor Gavin, let me repeat myself. This switch is a remote igniter trigger. Doesn't that suggest something to you? You're talking about what happened to me, aren't you? Ah, exactly. That night at the concert, there was one unusual burst of flame. When your guitar caught fire in the middle of your performance. Wasn't that part of the stage show, though? Prosecutor Gavin was entirely unaware such a thing had been planned, and the guitar that burned was a valuable keepsake. That's right. He got it in Borgnia from Laminar. He said the sound was amazing. Before it burned, of course. Now it just kind of smokes. The better the guitar, the brighter it burns. Her forehead? Yes. Don't tell me you're trying to tie these two things together. Those being the shooter's voice, heard by Laminar, and the guitar suddenly catching on fire. I am. It's really simple when you think about it. Mr. Taos and the shooter were at the crime scene. The shooter was wearing a headset. He ordered someone on stage to press the switch. The switch was pressed, and the guitar caught on fire. Well, that does seem to make sense, though something about it's bugging me. Can't quite put my finger on it. Really? Seems pretty simple to me. Hair forehead, don't destroy what little respect I have for you. I was expecting something a little more sensible. I guess I was wrong. What's this all about, Prosecutor Gavin? His simple story makes no sense. Think that night, my guitar caught on fire, yes? The cause may have been this indeed. However, the guitar caught on fire during the second set. Ah, that's right, of course. The guitar caught on fire during Lamirar's song. Indeed, yet the shooting happened during the third set. The two are utterly unrelated. Yes, that must have been what was bugging me. The whole premise is faulty. See, his story makes no sense.
Objection!
Are you sure about that? What exactly do you mean, Mr. Justice? Maybe it's not the premise for my explanation of the switch that's at fault. Maybe it's our premise for the entire case so far. What premise is this specifically? I'm glad you asked. I'm saying that maybe the killing didn't take place in the third act.
Objection!
What's this? But Detective Emma Sky heard shots and found the body. All this happened in the third act.
Objection!
Gunshots rang out. And according to his testimony, Machi was in that dressing room at the time. Where are you going with this, Mr. Justice? Stay with me, Your Honor. He also told us this in his testimony. Namely, the victim had already been shot. We all heard gunshots, but no one saw the shooting. This is insane. Just before the shooting took place, the shooter was heard on his headset, telling someone to press the switch. The next moment, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flames. We know that a remote-triggered igniter was inside the guitar. From all these facts, we can draw only one conclusion. The crime did not take place during the third act, but during the ballad performance, the second act. What? Order. But that goes against the evidence. What does, Your Honor? This crime was carried out according to the lyrics of that song, yes? Hey, he's right. Look, the bullet is supposed to come after the fire. You're thinking about it the wrong way. Huh. Look, why would the shooter craft the events of the day to follow the lyrics anyway? It's an awful lot of trouble to go through, with little merit for the person doing it. Well, I'm sure whoever it was had some reason. Yes, they did. A reason that made it advantageous to follow the lyrics. You're saying the order was reversed on purpose? Reversed. Prosecutor Gavin? If the criminal followed the lyrics strictly, then yes. The shooting would have had to come after the guitar burst into the flame. Yet her forehead has raised another possibility. He's claiming the bullet came not after, but just before the fire. Couldn't have put it better myself. We were only meant to think that the shooting came after the guitar burst into flames. That was the criminal's objective. The crime followed the lyrics to a point, but that was the ruse. Why else would the killer risk discovery by moving the body? That was the final touch to make us think he followed the lyrics the whole way. Order, order, order. That would explain this most unusual situation. It does. The killer changed the order of events to create himself an alibi. In other words, the killer was someone who had an alibi for the third set, but not for the second.
Objection!
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but sadly it has. Let me tell you why your little fairy tale makes no sense at all. Oh, it sounds good. I'll give you that. You've given us the reason why the killer bothered following the lyrics of my song, but I question your logic, for it's flawed from the very beginning. Flawed? Yes. A contradiction, hair for a head, one I pointed out several times no less. At the time of the crime, the small window at the scene was closed. How could Laminar have heard a voice through it? Oh. I know that you would like to divert our attention from this critical fact, but you're basing your entire line of reasoning on a false premise. Right. Lamirar's testimony is my entire case. That voice she heard, the shooter's voice. But what if she couldn't hear it, Apollo? Look, what do we have? A man saying press the switch, and near the crime scene, we have a switch, which acts as a remote trigger for an igniter. And last but not least, Prosecutor Gavin's flaming guitar. It can't all be a coincidence, but how do I make it work? I see a more direct line of questioning is required. When the crime scene was investigated, immediately after the crime, that window was closed. Can it tell us how Lamirar heard the voice? A key point to be sure. Mr. Justice, can you explain this to the court? Okay, Justice. You got one thing to prove and one thing only. Laminar heard a voice. And she heard it during the second set. Think, how was Laminar able to hear the voice? Well, it's because that she was somewhere else. When we investigated the scene, the window was closed. The shooter had no reason to close it, had it been open either. Meaning it was impossible to hear the voice through that window. It's good to hear you making sense again. For a moment, I was afraid you might be a Borginian too. As I was saying, Laminar could not hear the voice through that window. So there could only be one explanation. She heard that voice from another location entirely. But what's this? Do you amuse me so? You do amuse me so. And here I thought you and Good Sense were back on speaking terms. Now I'm afraid you and Good Sense speak two entirely different languages. Shall I interpret for you, her forehead? Laminar clearly stated she heard the voice through that small window, and there's only one small window at that scene. Are you sure? Think about it. Isn't there another small window at the scene? There is? I know that look. He wants us to ask him. Very well. You claim Laminar heard the voice from another location? Mr. Justice, show us where this location was. Laminar heard this location from here. Right here. The vents. This is where Laminar heard the voice from. But that's no small window. That's the air vent. What did she tell us? She says she's a Borgnian, unfamiliar with our language. It's not a stretch to imagine she called this air vent a small window. Now you've done it. You've gone beyond ridiculous and into ludicrous. So Laminor was up in the ventilation system listening to this man's voice? That's the only logical explanation, yes. Logical? I do not think this word means what you think it means, her forehead. Okay, what about it isn't logical? Ha, hardly merits saying. Why would Laminor be in the ventilation system, hiding like a rat? No offense intended to her, of course. The explanation for that is simple, Prosecutor Gavin. Isn't it, Laminor? You have been listening to our discussion here, yes? Yes. I admit, it's had me quite confused since yesterday. Yes, the small window was closed. But why should that mean I could not hear through it? I fear the prosecutor might himself need an interpreter. Ugh. The problem here is words. Laminor, the small window through which you heard the voice. Was it high up on the ceiling? Of the room? Not low on the wall. Yes, it was up on the ceiling. What? Order, order. I will have order. Witness, you will clarify the statement to the court. Are you in fact saying that you were up on above the ceiling of the room? And that's where you heard the moment of the crime? Yes, in fact I was. I'm sorry, I never imagined it would become such an important point. Yes, well, why the heck were you up there? I believe it's time for another testimony. I'm not sure I can't. May I remind you, this is a murder trial? We will hear your testimony. Tell us why you witnessed the crime from above the ceiling of that room. Please. Well, it looks like I'm on the right track. Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice. I had heard there was a small window there before. It was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I heard. As to why I was there, I cannot say. I am bound to secrecy on this matter. But bound to secrecy? In my line of work, one has many obligations to uphold. But you say you were in the middle of your performance. So this did happen during the second set. I did not witness the crime, you must understand. I only know what I heard. Yes, but you must tell us what you were doing in detail. That's where the cross-examination's for. Ha, her forehead? Our mission this course is to discern the truth. No obligation, no binding pact. May hinder that mission. Very well. Whew. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination. But what are you going to do, Apollo? I'm going to find out the truth. She was above that ceiling for a reason. I just have to get it out of her.
Ready. Fight!
Give me 1 second. Alright. Sorry about that. Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice. I heard that there was a small window there before. It was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I heard. As to why I was there, I cannot say. Let's present something. This videotape.
Objection!
Laminor, truth be told, the reason for your presence above the ceiling is quite clear, especially when you consider what happened during your performance. What happened? Yes, it's all right here on this video. Hold on a second. As we can see, Laminor was clearly not on stage for her entire performance. Though it saddens me to be so realistic. Laminor is incapable of actually vanishing, let alone teleportation. So the only explanation is that she was hidden from view, and during that time she moved to the back of the forum. Apollo, or what, Trucy? It's not nice to reveal a magician's secrets, as it against the rules. But I'm a lawyer, I'm not supposed to be nice. It's all very fascinating, but how is it possible? There's only 20 seconds between when she disappears and reappears. She couldn't have moved that fast. Is something wrong, Prosecutor Gavin? This was his concert, his show. He knows how the illusion was performed. Aha! He's just realizing his own oversight. Let's look at the cross-section diagram again. Here we can trace a route through the ceiling. It goes from the stage through the backstage to the rear of the forum. Recall Laminor's testimony from yesterday. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. She went from the stage to the backstage exit. A perfect description of this route above the ceiling. Laminor knew of this because of her part in the illusion. But she wasn't the only one who knew. What? Just now in the lobby, Machi told me something. I know if I opening vent, I can leave stage and backstage. He said that? Oh, were you not informed, Prosecutor Gavin? I knew about the vanishing act, of course, yet I had no idea the route that would be used. Why didn't that magician tell me? Magicians only reveal details of their acts on a need-to-know basis. They're the bread and butter of a magician's life, you know. Which is why he bound Laminor to secrecy. Well, Laminor? I'm impressed, Mr. Attorney. Masha was right about you. So, what does this mean? Are you saying you used this route above the ceiling? I did. Well, that's that. But I'm still a little confused. Why is that, Your Honor? As I said before, there was very little time between when she disappeared and when she reappeared. 20 seconds, tops. How could she do it so fast? Especially if she stopped to hear the shooter's voice. That's a good question. Can the witness explain this to the court? I cannot. Very well. Mr. Justice? Yes. It's all up to you. Do your thing. What thing, Your Honor? You need to explain how Laminor was able to teleport like she did. Or I'm throwing your case out with the bathwater. I don't get picked on. It's Laminor who isn't going along with the program here. As I said before, I am not at liberty to speak of the illusion of that night in detail. Then you'll just have to tell us what you can. We'll hear your testimony on this. Mr. Justice, it will be your job to wring the truth out of her. Yes, if you would, please. Right. I feel like a student before the finals. Good luck, Apollo. This is insane. The big illusion. I followed around exactly as I was instructed. There was an emergency exit in the backstage where a stagehand waited. From there, one can enter the forum on the opposite side from the stage. The plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes. I was on my way when I heard the voice. 2 minutes, you say. The mystery deepens. I suppose it was too much to hope that the judge would come up with something. As was my curiosity. Take it away, Mr. Justice. Right, Your Honor. All I have to do is find a contradiction between what Laminor is saying and what we could see plainly in the video. I figured it out already. I'm a magician after all. Well, tell me. Not a chance. I can't reveal no magician's secrets. Come on. Hey, you're supposed to be on my side here.
Ready. Fight!
I know where to go. We're gonna start by pressing. 2 minutes. Yes, it can be done in 1 minute if you're running. Running? In that cramped dark tunnel above the ceiling? Mr. Attorney, have you forgotten? Dark or lit, it makes no difference to me. Ah, that's true, but... So you're saying that on the night of the concert you made the trip in 2 minutes? Yes, though I nearly didn't make it in time. You see, I stopped halfway. Laminor disappears on the video for 20 seconds. But she says she made the trip in 2 minutes. How? If you want my professional opinion, I bet the answer is right there in that video. Well, Mr. Justice, perhaps you have some evidence for us? Something that can explain the discrepancy between the video and her testimony? Ah, evidence explain the discrepancy? There's one piece of evidence that explains the discrepancy between the video and testimony. This brooch. Laminor, do you happen to remember this brooch? Aha, the brooch. We saw that yesterday, did we not? It was found at the scene, Your Honor. And you're bringing this up now? Why? I thought we had already determined when that was dropped. So did I. But we hadn't. Take another look at the video. As you can see, she had it on right there. Here, you can see she's wearing the brooch. So she is. Let's look a bit later. Like later in the video, right around the time where she is on the other side, she's not wearing the brooch. But what? The brooch. It's gone. What? Yes. The brooch disappeared in the short space of 20 seconds, and it takes a full minute to run from the stage to the backstage. Which means there can only be one explanation. The Laminor we see before the Vanishing Act and the Laminor we see after are two different people. What? What? The brooch was found on the floor at the crime scene. And not just on the floor, but on the floor directly beneath the air vent. Laminor, tell me, did you drop the brooch on your way from the stage to the backstage at the very moment you witnessed the crime? Yes, I think I did. Order. Prosecutor Gavin. From your expression, I gather you had no idea this was the case, Her Judge. I, of course, knew about it. But what? Don't get me wrong, I wasn't hiding it. It just never occurred to me that the switch and the shooting took place at the same time. So I was right. There was a switch. There was. Just before the stage's tower rose, Laminor was replaced. When we are on the subject, just who was this replacement Laminor? Why, the man behind the illusion, Fallon Gramarye. It was Gramarye. That's quite the illusion, but I still don't get the one thing. Yes? The switch happened before the tower rose, correct? So you weren't on stage. That's right. But this fake Lamidor is still singing. And she's pretty good. That's true. Come on, Apollo. That's an easy one. They were just playing a recording. The Commodores aren't some kind of air guitar band, Fraulein. Oh, you mean I'm wrong? When we play a show live, we play live, no recordings. Perhaps you can explain Lamidor? Very well. Yes, do tell. Add it to your testimony. I had to keep singing even while I moved. Oh. Fraulein. Fraulein. I thought it was Fraulein. Crap. I did not mean to press A. Go back. Go back. Fuck. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. German's a wild language? Yeah. I don't even know the actual pronunciation for Lamina. Like, I keep trying to pronounce it in different ways, and I don't even know what's correct. Lamiroar? Lamiroar? Lamira? I don't know. It's weird. Seems French solving and no help. Yeah, I really don't know. Alright, so let's press. You were singing. Yes. Mr. Gavin expresses this like for recordings. So I use this. Wait, so you were singing the whole time? Even when you were crawling above the ceiling toward the backstage? Let me a while. Why should it matter where I sing, and everywhere I go is the same darkness? But if you were singing while you were walking, that's right, wouldn't the shooter and the victim have heard? She was singing right over their heads after all. That is right. Are you sure? You have to be pretty hard of hearing to miss someone singing in the ceiling. Once again, we come back to the state of the scene of the crime. What state? Ah, I know what he means. That old speaker, Apollo. The speaker. That speaker was blaring at the time of the murder. That's for monitoring the stage from this room. Monitoring? A pipe set of real-time feed for the stage microphones. Useful for knowing when your set is coming up. Satisfied? That dressing room was fitted with a large speaker playing a direct feed for the stage. At my request, actually. So Lamidor singing in the ceiling sounded just like Lamidor singing over the speaker. Ingenious. Her voice was hidden by her voice. Ah. Lamidor? I've just remembered something. Do tell. When I heard the noise, the gunshots, yes? It startled me, so I stopped singing. What? I forgot the words I was supposed to sing. The song stopped. Thankfully, it was the very beginning of the second verse, so not many would notice. Forehead, that mixing board I lent you. Where is it? The mixing, huh? That machine, Apollo. The one that breaks music into tracks. Oh, this. I completely forgotten about it. Let's take a listen. So this is the moment where they just use the mixer just to be able to see how things work. I still gotta get myself one of those mixers at some point. Because I want to get myself an XLR mic and then be able to mix this. I want to be able to mix my audio. I want to sound like significantly better than how I do while on audio. The song does stop there. It does? I must have missed it. Look at the lyric sheet at the top of the second verse. See where it says pleasure, pleasure? Now listen again. Yeah, she only says pleasure once. This is evidence indeed. I believe we are guilty of making a terrible mistake. The crime didn't happen during the third set. It happened during the second, during Lamidor's ballad. If that is true, then no one on stage during the second set could have been the shooter. which means that Darian Crescent could have done it. He was not staged for the second set. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, fascinating. I don't believe I ever seen a trial turned around quite so thoroughly. Yet one problem remains. What's that, Prosecutor Gavin? Her forehead's theory does have a certain kind of logic to it. Yet it's entirely based upon Laminor's testimony. Yes? Is there a problem with this? Well, it's quite simple, though it pains me to say it. What if she's lying to protect the defendant? But you have no proof. All I'm saying is that the truth is as yet unclear. Until we hear directly from the man himself. The man? You don't mean... Yes. Though he is a friend and a band member, Darian Crescent must take the stand. I see no other way. As someone with a new perspective on the case. As a suspect, to be frank... Finally, the rat's coming out of his hole, and I'm ready to catch him. Darian Crescent, get ready for justice. This is as good a time as any to pause for a brief recess. The prosecution will summon the witness. Have him here and ready by the time we begin. I'm the last man who needs to be reminded of what his duties are. Very well, court is adjourned for a 15-minute recess. All right, and now we go into the next part. Could it be the final part of case 3? All right, the next part of case 3. Right around the time where recess is about to end and the trial's gonna return. Apollo, I can't believe it. It really happened during the second act? And right in the middle of Lamina's performance? The reason why she was in that air vent, and that switch, and the flaming guitar. When you link it all together, that's what you end up with. I knew you had what it took. Ah, Daddy. Mr. Wright, you believed in me? Not really. Huh? I just thought that'd make a cooler entrance than say, hiya. Why do I even bother hoping? Where have you been lately, Daddy? You haven't been coming to the office at all. Sorry about that, Trucy. I'm on a secret mission. Secret? You mean like you're undercover? Like Mr. Litaus, only shorter and not as well dressed? Oh no, what if you shot too, Daddy? Would I do a thing like that to you? Anyway, I'm off for a while again. Huh, you leaving? What other thing? Before I go. What? Good luck. Right. Is that all you came to say? I think you have things pretty much under control. You'll get Machi Tobaye off the hook, no doubt. Yeah, but you're after that detective, aren't you? Darian Crescent. It won't be easy proving he did it. Especially not under the current court system. The current court system? What did Prosecutor Gavin say during his trial? Your case is based on one fragile assumption. Namely that our diva divine is telling the truth. But what about all the proof? The brooch and the switch? A piece of jewelry and a lyrical blender. There are plenty of other ways to explain these things. The flaming guitar too. All because you lack definitive proof of their connection to the case. But if the sultry songstress is lying, your case smells like butter in a frying pan. Leave behind the faintly signed scent of failure. So what do I do? Like I said, good luck. And be aware that it will be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods. Ah. Oh, that reminds me. I have something to give you from our detective friend, Detective Sky. Emma? Let's see. This bag of snacks here was meant for me. Ah, here it is. What are those, Daddy? They don't look like very good snacking material. They were found at the scene. Analysis of the fragments revealed traces of gunpowder. Gunpowder? Probably a firecracker or something similar, like the ones kids are into these days. These fragments were found under the sofa at the scene of the crime, actually. Under the sofa. Hey, Apollo. That's where we found that little device thingy. Right, this. Well, finally, some evidence that makes sense. Bird fragments. That's all from me, I suppose. See you after the verdict. Maybe. Right. Every man has an igniter inside him. Excuse me? Find Darien Crescent's igniter and set it off. And he just walked out the door just like a magician, normally. What does he want us to do? No conventional methods? What does that mean? I guess we just have to take his advice and hope it makes sense when the time comes. I guess. We're almost at the finish line. Hang in there, Trucy. Here we go. Back to the trial. Court is now in session. Prosecutor Gavin? Where's Detective Crescent? In the witness lounge. Ready to be called at any time. Very well. But I add, I don't believe any of this. Darien was the first detective I've ever worked with. We stopped working together when we moved to Criminal Affairs, Division 3. But his guitar playing, it fires my imagination. That's nice, but it has nothing to do with the matter at hand. Correct? Oh, I know. Her forehead. Very well, call the final witness to the stand. Detective Darien Crescent. Name and occupation, please. Darien Crescent, Detective, Criminal Affairs Division 3. That's the International Affairs Division, for those of you who didn't know. And I'm a guitarist for the Governors. Maybe you heard of us. Do you fully understand the circumstances on which you stand before us today? Yeah, I understand, Your Honor. What I don't understand is how you let this happen, partner. If you gave me your word, I wouldn't be standing here. The situation has changed, Darien. And don't call me partner. Fah, so much for old friends. I see what you're doing, Darien. You're pressing the prosecution. Your Honor, if we can begin the trial, yes, it's high time we did. Let's hear your testimony. You may begin with your response to Lamiro's testimony, if, in fact, you have anything to say about it. Oh, I got plenty to say. Lying must be a national pastime in Borgonia. And wherever you're from, Mr. Justice. Ha! Conventional methods are out the window, huh? Here goes nothing. Here we go. Darien's rebuttal. The diva's lying. Plain and simple. She's got nothing to back up her story. In the first place, she never heard my voice. She forgot the words because she heard gunshots, as if. Didn't Detective Emma Sky heard those gunshots during the third set anyway? The shooting took place when I was on stage, man. So you claim Lamiro's testimony was a lie? Give me 1 second. Alright. Hey, don't get me wrong. I dig what she's doing, trying to protect that kid. And she's got the court eating vague statements out of her hand just because she's blind. You go too far, Darien. Look, all I'm saying is, you got a reliable witness. Why not listen to the detective? Detective Sky? I see. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination. He didn't waste any time finding our weak spot. I can't do this with Lamiro's testimony alone. I'll have to find some other way to prove when the shooting took place. Let's go.
Ready.
We're fighting.
Fight!
We're gonna go right here. Because I have something to show you. Something that was discovered, and we're gonna present it. The burnt fragments.
Objection!
Some things were found at the crime scene after yesterday's trial. What things? The first was this small device. That's the remote triggered igniter. Correct. And one more thing. What are those? The remains of something burnt, not another guitar, I hope. Traces of gunpowder were found in these fragments. We have a report that it was something like a firecracker. How did Gavin know about that? What? You think Detective Sky works for you? I received the report this morning before coming here. That's when I made my decision, actually. What decision is this, Prosecutor Gavin? I registered Darian as a witness in today's trial, just in case. This raises another possibility. Those gunshot-like sounds during the third set. Could have been 2 firecrackers rigged to go off by remote control? You got an active imagination, don't you? But you shouldn't say every little thing you think. Your explanation there seems a bit too convenient to me. How so? So you're saying that these firecrackers just so happened to go off? Right when 2 witnesses came walking by? Ha! That's right. Darian was out on stage when it happened, Apollo. How would he know someone was backstage right then? If a firecracker goes off in the forest and there's no one to hear, you got my drift. Why go through the trouble, man? Ah. How do I explain this? He may not look it, but Darian's a gifted detective. Show any weakness and he's sure to find it. He may not look it, partner. Gee, thanks, man. That reminds me. I happened to pass through that very hallway several times during that day myself. And I saw something odd there just before the third set. Something odd? A headset. The kind all the band and staff members were wearing. That's right. We picked this up in front of the door to that dressing room. What if the headset wasn't dropped but placed? And what if it was turned on? You could hear what was going on in that hallway, even if you were out on stage. Fair. Whose side are you on, Gavin? Listen to me, Darian. There are no sides in the court of law. Which is why I now turn to you, her forehead. I have a question for you. Huh? For me? The igniter and the burnt fragments that were found at the scene of the crime, it's certainly a possibility that they were part of a ruse to fake the sound of the gunshots. Throw the headset from the hallway to the mix, and you can fabricate an alibi. But we're still no closer to proving anything. Those gunshots might have been real, or fake. We can't say. You've raised the possibility that the shots heard during the third set were faked. Now you need to prove the other half of the case. The other half? Look, I'll just tell him. He wants you to prove the thing we went down in the second act, while our little piano player was on stage. That's right, Gavin? Indeed. If you can't prove that, then to continue this cross-examination will be pointless. Well, Mr. Justice, can you prove the crime took place during the second set? Yeah, I think. You better know, Apollo, otherwise we're through. It can be proven. You make it sound like someone else is going to come along and do it for you. Let's continue with the cross-examination then, shall we? Witness, your testimony, if you would. This isn't going to be easy. I need some decisive proof and fast. Ha, you ready, kid? Because I am. The shooting took place during the second set. If you're so sure, let's see your proof.
Objection!
Yes, the mixer. It seems there was clear proof left behind. Right here in Lamina's song. Her song? What exactly is this device thingy? A new variety of gramophone, perhaps? Come on, we just used this, and don't get me started on gramophone. This device was used to record the performance part by part. Part? You move the sliders to adjust the volume. Each instrument is adjustable separately. Lamina's voice included. Ho-ho. What does this prove? According to Lamina's testimony, at the moment of the shooting, she forgot the words to the song. Ah, you intend to examine the recording at that moment, yeah? You might even hear those gunshots. Exactly. Ha! Ridiculous. How are you supposed to hear gunshots back in that dressing room out on stage? Have you forgotten, Darian? We were all wearing these headsets. Oh. We were all deeply involved in our performance. But Lamina's headset would have picked up what she heard all the same. So let's get to analyzing that recording. Right now. Lamina stopped singing when she heard the shots fired. Find that spot and I'll find the gunshots. Gotta hear this carefully. If we were to turn everything else off, we're gonna hear every one of them. Oh, there it is.
Take that!
Your Honor, listen closely to this part. This is the track with Lavineor's vocals. As you can see right here, right when it's about to head to the next segment. I did hear something faintly there, yes. Why, it sounded like a gunshot. But what? This has to be some kind of mistake. I believe a case has been made. Gunshots were heard during the second set, which means Lavineor's testimony was true. Gah. There we go. Order, so she was telling the truth about what she heard. Got him. It was none other man speaking, not Mr. Litthouse. Well, what did he say? It's over. Press the switch, now. Just after that, there was a gunshot, and then the guitar caught on fire. Detective Crescent, you weren't on stage during the second set. You could have done it. But why did we only hear one gunshot on the recording? Weren't 2 bullets fired from this weapon? Lavineor was moving through the air vent, Your Honor. She must have not been close enough for her mic to catch the first shot. But then, as she passed over the dressing room, the gun fired again, and Mr. Littause's life was taken. Well, Detective Crescent? Once again I'm reminded of something. Huh? Our performance that day. Your performance. Seeing the mixing board jog my memory, you were there too, her forehead. Oh, that's where they bring up the performance. What is it with today? Problem after problem, a chung. My hog won't start. My guitar case is busted. My guitar has been burnt to a crisp, and to top it all off, someone's dead. And then there was that performance just now. What was that all about? This part is off. Which is that? It's like a guitar. Question, how is she in the air vent while she was also singing? I'm confused. It's actually been cleared up. So, there was a magician who was a stand-in for her around the time, like, when she was on stage with Gavin during the performance. And then, like, but she, despite all that, she was still singing. But when she heard the gunshot, she flubbed one of the lyrics before getting back on track with the song. She only heard the second gunshot according to this. So, it was all a magic trick. It was you, Darian. I thought it strange at the time. How could you miss such a simple cue? I know you. I know how you play. You're better than that. Yeah, well, You what? Hey, Prosecutor Gavin, what are you getting at? I'm talking about the murder weapon, Mr. Littause's 45 caliber hand cannon. As we have learned, even the shooter doesn't go unscarred with a revolver that size. The kickback is enough to dislocate your shoulder if you're an amateur. Yep, absolutely, Caitlin. Wait, you mean his playing was affected because he hurt himself shooting that revolver? Ha, you're forgetting something. Yes, Detective Crescent, I'm trained a police officer, you know. I had firearms training, plenty of it. I'm no amateur. The standard sidearm issued to the police officers is a .38 caliber weapon, a much tamer beast. Also, the murder weapon belonged to the victim, Mr. Lataus, which suggests there was a struggle between the killer and the victim. So, the killer might not have been holding the revolver correctly when he fired. Is that what you mean? The thought had occurred to me, yes. Oh boy. Well, does the witness have anything to say to this? Detective Crescent. What I want to ask is what Mr. Sleeves rolled up ready for action has to say. Hey you, attorney. Me? Exactly which piece of evidence is decisive again? You got a little noise in that tape that could be anything. And you have an alleged guitar cue missed due to 45 caliber kickback. I weep for this case, Gavin. I really do. You can line up your little weak pieces of evidence all you want. I didn't shoot the manager, and that's the obvious truth. The witness has a point. The defense's arguments, while persuasive, are not decisive. I believe we should hear what the witness has to say in response to the case so far. Your testimony, please, Detective Crescent. Tell us your reasons why you couldn't have done it. Oh boy, here we go. Come on, why would I even want to kill that manager? You want a reason? Easy. I got no motive, man. This was that diva's first trip to this country, right? How could I possibly know her manager? If I didn't know him, why would I want to kill him? A simple reason indeed. Prosecutor Gavin, is it the case that Mr. Lataus had not been to our country before? According to our records, yes, not even once. I see. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination. Great, now I need to find a motive. There is something.
Ready. Fight!
You want a reason? Easy. Alright. I have a reason. I think you have a motive. I'm going to present something.
Objection!
Your Honor, take a look at this. What's that? Looks like candy. It's not. Don't look it, please. Detective Crescent, ever seen this? Looks like a piece of candy. What it is evidence. Don't lick it before you try it. Specifically, this is a replica of a cocoon. It was found among the victim's belongings. A cocoon? Never seen one that color. It's a variety only found in the Republic of Borginia. Nowhere else. Alright. What is this cocoon replica doing in my courtroom? Surely this has nothing to do with a motive for killing Mr. Lataus. Does it? It does. Wait. I mean, I think it does. You don't sound so confident, man. A cocoon. Is it one of those silky cocoons? The kind that you can make, well, silk out of? Not this one. This cocoon makes a powerful curative. A curative? For what? Apparently it's the most efficacious at treating a disease thought incurable. It's the only medicine of its kind. However, it's illegal to take one of these healing cocoons out of Borginia. Whatever for. If it's such a miracle cure, why not share it with the world? Yeah, that's what I've been wondering. We looked into the matter at some length. Apparently, it isn't difficult at all to manufacture the remedy for the cocoon. Yet if you change the process only slightly, you can easily make a large quantity of something else entirely. And a deadly poison, in fact. But what? There was an incident several years ago where some of these got out onto the black market. It caused quite the commotion in the global community, though the media was kept largely unaware. Intriguing. All this has led to a strict ban on the cocoon's export, one rigidly enforced by Interpol, among others. Interpol. Right. The victim, Romain Lataus, was an Interpol agent. Detective Crescent, you insist on referring to him as a manager, but that is misleading. Romain Lataus wasn't killed as a manager. He was killed as an undercover agent. So I was trying to smuggle this gumball into the country? That's what you're trying to say? I'm saying that could all well be a motive for murder. Oh, so I was going to sell on the black market, make myself a pretty penny. Ridiculous. I mean, totally unthinkable. Unthinkable, you say? Why? Perhaps it's time for another testimony about the smuggling of cocoons business. Here we go. Cocoon smuggling. International Affairs got a memo about these cocoons. Interpol's all hot and bothered about them. Can't sell them on the black market. Too dangerous. Yeah, cocoon smuggling ain't exactly lucrative anymore. Man, I'm in International Affairs. I know the deal. Alright. Indeed. Interpol wanted these cocoons bad enough to send missiles to the house undercover. You kids think of the craziest things, but no way am I going to risk life and limb just to get my hands on some dirty cocoon money. Not the most noble of statements, but duly noted. According to reports, these cocoons top Interpol list. Selling them will be an underground organization. Selling them to an underground organization will be risky. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination. This is the only motive I got. He was up to something, and I'm going to find out what.
Ready. Fight!
Alright, so there is a way to prove all this. So over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to present something. Alright, this newspaper article.
Objection!
Why not choose a less dangerous buyer then? I would. How clueless are you? Everyone in the market's dangerous. The second they found out I was a cop, I could kiss my keister goodbye. Why sell to a black market buyer? How about someone like this? That article. That's about the Chief Justice's a deadly poison can be extracted from the cocoon. But so can a cure. And not a cure for just any disease. A cure for incuritis. Incuritis? I've heard of that somewhere. You went to visit a victim of the disease this morning. Aha. Why, that's the disease that the Chief Justice's son has. You aren't saying our witness is a detective. He would have contact with the Chief Justice. You're saying the Chief Justice would never deal in contraband. Not even to save his own son's life? But even if the deal went through, might be an international scandal. That's Detective Crescent's insurance. If word ever got out, the one with his neck on the line would be the Chief Justice. Detective Crescent, is this true? First, I'm a murderer. Now I'm a smuggler. How many crimes are you trying to pin on me anyway? This tasteful as if it's to think about it. If the Chief Justice were the buyer, why, a seller couldn't hope for a better deal. A very cowardly seller. Don't let sleeves over there trick you. So I made a deal with the Chief Justice? Where's your proof? Well? Oh yeah, and you're forgetting one other important thing. Do tell. Interpol isn't the only ones out there watching this. Borknia Customs barely sleeps. They're so worried about cocoons getting out. So we were informed. Let's continue with the cross-examination. Borknia Customs is very thorough. Everything and everyone gets checked. Alright, well, let's do it. What about this guitar?
Objection!
Actually, there is one way. Huh? One way to get something out of the country, no checks. What is it? You become a prosecutor. A prosecutor? I don't believe it. Believe it, Prosecutor Gavin. What is it that you told me yesterday in your office? It was a beautiful instrument. It was played lovingly for many years. Guitar befitting a woman like Lamy Law. How did it end up here? I mentioned how much I enjoyed playing it that night, and she made a present of it. So this guitar is from Borgonia. That it is. We couldn't carry it on the plane. Changes in air pressure and humidity ruined the wood. So we vacuum packed it in Lamy Law's studio. I used the special shipping service available to me for transporting evidence. They brought it right up to my office for me. Pristine and untouched. Did I get that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Untouched? Quite. The guitar was wrapped in several sheets and vacuum packed in Borgonia. The pack was untouched until the day of the concert. Are you saying the guitar was... With cocoons this small? It would have been very easy to use the guitar as a mule to smuggle a cocoon out of Borgonia. Well, what? Which reminds me, Prosecutor Gavin. The guitar had some work done on it recently, right? Work? Good memory, her forehead. Well, you know how guitars have a round hole in the front. It's called a sound hole. Well, they found something attached to the wood just inside the hole. A broken device of some sort. A broken device? Yes, this, in fact. Excuse me. An igniter. Exactly. Consider this, if you will. What if the igniter wasn't the only thing that was attached inside your guitar? You mean... He means this, of course. There was a way to get a Cocoon out of the country. They could use picky prosecutor Gavin's privileged guitar as a mule. And who better to do that than someone with access? Like a member of the band. York! Order, order, order. So the igniter was placed in there for a clear reason, seems. It was a safety precaution. A precaution? Her forehead. At last, it all comes together. Every strange thing that happened that day. Care to review? Maestro? The gentle sounds of Lamiro's ballad. First, my keys were stolen. A harmless misdemeanor, which forced me to break the lock on my guitar case. The key was stolen to retrieve the cocoon for the guitar. I see. But things didn't go so well. Smuggler wasn't counting on the guitar being wrapped. Only member of the band could get near that case. Unwrapping the guitar would raise too many suspicions. Then the concert began. Right about this time, a very large problem presented itself to the smuggler. What's that? Mr. Lataus. Mr. Lataus, another cover agent, was onto something. He would have known about the guitar. He only had to check the shipping records. So, Mr. Lataus tried to examine the guitar himself. If the cocoon were confiscated, then the jig would have been up. The only thing left for the smuggler to do was get rid of the whole lot. It's over. Press the switch. Now. The guitar burst into flames, and the cocoon was lost. And then, Mr. Lataus died. Well, I'm there to witness it. There's your case. Brilliant, man. Detective Crescent, I gotta know, you make all that up on the fly? For a made-up story, it makes a great deal of sense. Darien. Republic of Bourguignon? Sorry, man, but I haven't even been there. True, you haven't. Ha! Let's see you make up a story for that, kid. How I hide the cocoon in the first place, huh? It's not so hard to imagine. You had help. A Bourguignon accomplice. That's all. That you had an accomplice was clear from the start. The voice Laminor heard proves it. It's over. Press the switch. Now. You made this transmission from backstage, while your co-conspirator was on stage. But who was it? This is the coup de grace. And for once I know what I'm doing. There's only one person who could have helped them. Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say then. But be warned, with a great accusation comes great responsibility. Make up your answer on the fly as it were, and you will be harshly penalized. Are you ready, Mr. Justice? Who was the smuggler's accomplice? It's Machi Tobaye. There's only one person who meets all the requirements of the accomplice, and that person is the defendant, Machi Tobaye. But Mr. Justice, he's your client. A defense attorney accusing his client, that's a new one. I assure you, no one is more than happy about this than I. But I'm here to defend him in the murder of Mr. Lataus, and I stand by my statement earlier that he is innocent of that particular crime. Indeed, the defendant is Bourguignon. He does meet the basic requirements to be the accomplice. But what if it was, in fact, Lamirora? It couldn't have been. Well, you seem sure of yourself. The reason is electronic signals, Your Honor. Electronic signals? Recall that this remote only works to a range of 30 feet. Beyond that, it's useless. Yes, that's true. Now, think back to the testimony. When the shooter made his transmission, Lamirora was in the air vent, right above the dressing room where the shooter stood. Let's look at the stage diagram. This is the area that the remote could reach from the air vent. Well, looking at this, it seems that Laminor still could have done the deed. No. When the shooter made the transmission, the stage was slightly different than shown here. It was in the middle of the guitar serenade. Part of the stage was raised. Prosecutor Gavin and the Laminor stand-in were in the air. They were on the tower, which happens to be 15 feet tall. In other words, remote couldn't have worked from Laminor's position in the air vent. Yeah. Well, Detective Crescent, what do you say to that? Your Honor? Yes, Detective? Can we see the video where Gavin's guitar burns? Just one more time? Oh well, I don't see why not. What? Don't tell me he has a way out of this. Too bad, so sad, punk. Punk? First you were sleeves, then kid, now punk. You're losing rank fast, Apollo. What exactly were we supposed to see in this video? The problem isn't what we see, correct, Darian? Right, it's what you hear. We are musicians after all. Can you explain for us non-musicians? Sure thing, punk. Let me get your yarn straight first. You're saying I ordered the Wii pianist to set out that igniter? That's right. Yes. Well, in order to do that, he had to press a switch. Am I right? Okay. Well, take another listen. Pay attention to the piano. Piano? What seems to be the problem? The piano sounded just fine. And if that's the problem, man, you still don't get it? Yeah, how's he supposed to hit that switch if he's playing? You got Miss Diva, the guitar, the bass, the piano, and the drums. The only one with her hands free was a diva. Laminor. But according to you, she couldn't have been the accomplice, could she? The accomplice would have had a hard time helping out, if they couldn't even press a switch. Ugh. The piano plays non-stop. He couldn't have pressed that switch. Well, Mr. Justice, the piano does seem to be playing when the guitar catches on fire. Oh well, it's okay. We all make mistakes sometimes. Apollo, were you wrong? I can't be wrong. Everything makes perfect sense. How could it all just... Strange. What's strange? No, it's just... Something's odd about the performance there. Odd? Mr. Justice? If Machi Tobaya didn't press that switch, then he could not have been the accomplice you claim he is. But then everything points to it. Every fact says he's the accomplice. You got the facts wrong, man. Here's some facts for you. Gavin's guitar is on fire, but the pianist didn't press that switch. In other words, your story is full of holes. Mr. Justice, let's hear your final opinion on this matter now. Was the defendant Machi Tobias the accomplice? You guys will reflect on everything you said here. Give us some thought. Apollo, if Machi's not the accomplice, then our whole case is ruined. I know that. It has to be him. He's the only one who could have helped the smuggler. He has to have pressed that switch. Well, you better find a way to prove it. What do I do? What do I do? There has to be something that doesn't fit. Something odd. Something odd. Wait a second. What? What? You thought of something? What was Gavin saying just now? Strange. What's strange? No, it's just something's odd about the performance there. It's not much to go on, but that's all I got. What exactly did he hear that was odd? Have you come up with something, Mr. Justice? May I remind you that everything rests on this? Can you prove Machi Tobias pressed that switch? Let's see your final answer. Can you prove that Machi Tobias pressed that switch? I can prove it. I don't know if you call this proof per se, but I can prove it was possible. Then as a prosecutor, it falls to me to ask you to show us evidence supporting this. Her forehead, you sure about this? Ha. Accepted. There is no evidence, man. Let's see evidence, Mr. Justice. On what ground, on what do you base your claim that the defendant pressed the switch?
Take that!
The basis of my claim is music, Your Honor. Music? What about music? Let's listen to the piano part around the time when the switch was to be pressed. Right before the guitar burst into flame. I hear piano being played, but doesn't it sound kind of simple? Simple? I think I know what he's suggesting. You think Machi could have played that part with one hand? One hand? He only needed one hand to press that switch. He could play the piano with the other. Haha, what, so you're some kind of piano savant? Actually no. Then what do you know? You can't play a part like that with one hand. Maybe, I don't know what I'm talking about here. Wait, I know. Hey, Trucy. Yeah? You got something? Mr. Wright, your father, he's a pianist, could he? Oh, Daddy? He couldn't play a part like that even if he had 3 hands. So sad for you. No, not really. Huh? That was just the easy way to prove it. There's always the hard way. Man, how are you going to prove whether he played it with one hand or two? You can't. I admit it'll be rather difficult to prove, but it's highly likely he was playing with one hand. How do you know that? Clues what Prosecutor Gavin described as sounding odd. What sounded odd? I'll bet we can tell by listening to a certain part of the song. No, no way. Well, it seems we've come to the moment of truth at last. Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say for himself. Show us the part that proves the defendant was playing with one hand. Right before the guitar burst into flame. Machi was definitely playing with one hand just before the guitar caught on fire. And one section of the song proves it. Thing is this. Like, you listen right here. Like, it sounds really good here. Trying to figure this out. Let's try it.
Take that!
I'm sure you realize by now just what it is that sounded odd to you. So I'm sure you realize it yourself, her forehead. Realize what? I'll demonstrate. Let's listen to the part in question again, shall we? Pay particular attention to the part, to the a fleeting melody phrase. Man, how many times do we have to listen to the same thing? You're right, enough of that. Let's listen to another section, shall we? Another section. The guitar bursts into flame at the end of the second verse. Let's listen to the same spot in the first verse. Pay attention to the, oh, that night in your embrace. Yeah, you can hear it. Ah, play verse 2 again. And then you hear it. There, did you hear that? They feel the same, true. But they're clearly very different. What? Well put, Your Honor. The phrase in verse 2 is quite simple, but the same phrase in verse 1 has had high and low notes. You have to use two hands to play that for sure. What's that prove? I would think you know that by now. This is why I hate dealing with amateurs, man. So the two verses have different arrangements. Happens all the time. Not this time, Darian. There's no point in changing an arrangement if you can't hear it clearly, and that wasn't the point. I had it in place specifically so the piano would stay in the background. Oh. That was what I noticed. Why should the same phrase sound slightly different, I asked myself. Now ask yourselves why Machi changed how he played, and there's only one answer. He had a free hand in order to press the switch. Oh. Order. I believe that ties all the facts together. Well, Prosecutor Gavin? Yes, quite. Though personally, this comes as a terrible disappointment. Huh? What? No comeback? I can't believe it. I finally did it. Shut him up. Very well. Barring an objection for the prosecution, I will now state the court's opinion on this matter. Huh? Good show, Sleeves. No, great show. It's not over. I don't like it when he looks so happy. You tell him, Gavin. Tell him what's so disappointing. Personally, I'm terribly disappointed. And you, her forehead. Huh? With me? Yes, don't get me wrong. Your case is solid. The facts all check out. But even now, you have yet to show us a single piece of decisive evidence. Yeah, but the facts anyone could see was him. Unfortunately, anyone does not include the law. I'm afraid your case doesn't cut it. But, a thousand facts might point toward the same conclusion. But without decisive evidence, it's not proof. That's the rule under our current legal system. I don't believe it. It doesn't seem as though the defense has any more evidence to present. But I hope you're doing good, Nova. We're making progress in this case. Oh, I think if we did already, would have seen it a long ways back. It's unfortunate. But at present, this court is unable to acknowledge your accusation. What? What? The truth is staring us all right in the face. Why can't they see it? What's the point of a legal system that protects criminals? Apollo, remember what Daddy said. It won't be easy proving he did it, especially not under the current court system. So what do I do? Like I said, good luck, and be aware that it will be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods. Ah, every man has an igniter inside him. Find Darien Crescent's igniter and set it off. I wonder what he meant by every man's igniter. I think it just meant a weak spot, no? The kind of thing that the single spark could turn into a wildfire of emotion. I won't be able to press him further by conventional means. I gotta find a weak spot in this guy. Something fatal. So I can get back to work now, or what? It look like I got a lot of time on my hands. But I got no more time to play pretend with this deadwood attorney. Well, Mr. Justice? We come this far without decisive evidence. This witness won't be coming back to the stand once we let him go. Every man has an igniter. Huh? Didn't you say the better the guitar, the brighter it burns, Prosecutor Gavin? Ah, yes. Good guitars are kept dry is why. That provides the best sound. Even a small spark could cause irreparable damage. Your plane has an igniter in it too, Detective. It was there from the very beginning. What? Fighting time, Justice. If you blow this one, he'll be out of your hands for good. Go for it, Apollo. What? And this igniter's supposed to come burn me up? That's almost poetic there, Mr. Attorney. All the better. I'm rather fond of poetry, and I intend to hear this one through to the very end. Her forehead. You're accusing this man, Darien Crescent, of 2 crimes. The murder of Mr. Lataus and the smuggling of a Borgnian cocoon. This is your last chance to prove your case. This trial has already run on for far too long. Mr. Justice, this will be my last warning. The moment this igniter of yours turns out to be a dud, it's the moment this cross-examination ends. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. Then let's have it. Show us the basis for these accusations against Darien Crescent. Okay, this really is my last chance. The key that will take apart Darien Crescent's plan is... We will call a witness. Your igniter isn't a piece of evidence. Huh? So what is? It is true that I couldn't show decisive evidence. Perhaps what I needed to prove my case was something else. You mean a witness? Proving his guilt is a tall order, but I got just the person to do it. Very well, Mr. Justice. Who is this person who can prove Darien Crescent's guilt?
Take that!
The one person who can prove Darien Crescent's guilt is the defendant, Machi Tobaye. Your client? Again? Machi Tobaye was an accomplice to the cocoon smuggling plot. Without him, Darien Crescent could not have gotten the cocoon. Furthermore, he could easily prove that the one who plotted to smuggle that cocoon is the real criminal in this case. How so? It would require just one of the very cocoons Mr. Lataus was looking for. With the cooperation of the Republic of Borginia, we could burn a cocoon. The burnt cocoon would leave a particular residue. A residue we would, no doubt, also find inside the burnt-out guitar. Aha! Very scientific of you. Thus, if Machi Tobaye acknowledges his agreement with Darien Crescent concerning the attempt of smuggling of a Borgian cocoon, the case is solved. Heh. Darien's laughing again. Your unrelenting passion is remarkable. You really want to get me, don't you? Too bad you'll never be able to. Why not? The little key tickler won't acknowledge anything, especially not anything to do with a cocoon smuggling. What's this all about? Taking a cocoon out of the country means death. By Borgian law. Ah, yeah, see? The pianist really was a smuggler. Testifying about it would be suicide. Believe me, he's not talking. But you're wrong, Detective Crescent. What? It's the other way around. If Machi doesn't admit to smuggling here, he's in deep trouble. Huh? How? Look, if Machi admits to smuggling here, then he'll be tried in our courts by our laws. You don't get the death penalty for smuggling in our country. Ah. The victim in this case was the undercover Interpol agent. I'm sure that news has already reached Borginia. And they likely broadcast our dealings in court today, including the part about the Borginian cocoon. Yeah, but if Machi doesn't admit to smuggling now, he'll eventually be picked up by the Borgini police. And it's not like he's in any danger in our court. We're not going to find him guilty of murder here. Not now. Yeah, but you can't do this. You can't. You can't accuse me. Maybe the law doesn't allow it, but who's going to think you're really innocent after hearing this trial? The same goes for Machi Tobaye. Ah, the cocoon smuggling, your entire plan. Machi Tobaye knows everything. There's only one way out of it for him, and that's to acknowledge his own crime. The crime of cocoon smuggling. Don't worry there. I'll get you out of the country. I'll set you up someplace. Hidden mansion, real nice. You want a house made of cookies? Or no, a house made of pianos? Come on. Please. Don't take. We'll talk. Wipe out. Hey, LG Sands. Woo! Diane, I consider that my last session with you. We rocked. I'm guessing that we could treat that outburst as a confession. Uh-oh, he's laughing again. There's a kind of sick desperation in it now, though. Well, have you been listening to today's trial? Yes. And you'll tell this court everything? I didn't want it to turn out this way, but I'm not the kind of lawyer that can overlook a crime. Today's trial was all for your benefit, you know. I see no reason why you should hesitate now. I knew, from the beginning I knew. Machi situation, I cannot explain. But money, I needed. Very much money. Today's trial raises a delicate issue in our legal system. The only thing definite in our court of law is evidence. This is the golden rule. However, it has become apparent that not all things can be tried by this standard. Should another case of this sort of surface, we may have to consider an alternate system by which to administer justice. Anyway, Mr. Machi Tobaye, yes, I promise you will receive a fair trial by the laws of our country. And with regards to the current charges for the murder of Mr. Lataus, this court is prepared to announce a verdict. I thank you. I only lie, but you see truth. You find truth. That's our job. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Machi Tobaye, not guilty.
You win.
Not guilty of the charge of murder. Court is adjourned. I wonder what will happen to Machi. Well, he did smuggle Cocoon out of Borginia. I guess there'll be another trial here. All's well that ends well. Daddy. I owe you both my thanks. Laminor? Is something wrong? I'm sorry. Machi was your partner on stage. Your friend. Yes, I thought of him as my own son. Even now I do. Yep. Something got a hold of him. Something evil. I see that. And he must pay for what he has done. Is that not how it should be? I'm still sorry. Man, people really gave this game some stink eyes when it first appeared, but it's so good. It's a crime I got hated at first. Do not be sorry. Yeah, giving me courage? Courage? I am considering an eye operation. It was my suggestion, actually. You mean you'll be able to see again? It's funny, I've always been afraid of the light. Light seems so harsh, so unforgiving. According to the doctor, Laminor lost her sight due to some kind of accident. An accident? As you know, I suffer from amnesia. I feared that if I could see, perhaps it would open my eyes to the truth I have been running from. I was scared. You know what changed her mind? Hearing your defense in here today. By the way, I was originally going to start up case 4, but the rest of this particular case went on way long. So I figured I know what I'm gonna do. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Yeah, the game only has 4 cases. Yeah, and I know for a fact that the next case has to be the longest one. If the light returns to my eyes, I think I will take up painting. Painting. That's right. She's the landscape painter in Sen, after all. I will paint the 2 of you. I promise. Woohoo! I can't wait, Laminor. I owe you my thanks too, Apollo. Thanks, Mr. Wright, but for what? You reminded me I need to hurry things along. On my secret mission, that is. Right, your secret mission. Apollo Trucy, I hope that we'll meet again someday soon. You bet, me too. And so, like a ballad, the trial flowed on and on until it came to an end. Thanks to the trial, the Guitar Serenade was a huge hit. Prosecutor Gavin's even more dazzling to look at now. But there's something I want to say to that guy. Next time you write a ballad, have them catch the killer at the end. Alright, so that ends case 3. Unfortunately, no case 4 as I promised for tonight. I'll save that for another night. Alright. We will wrap up. But yeah, so that's the end of case 3. So at least we got to explore that. So more likely what I'm going to do, originally I had a different plan before I did the Mario Party Madness stream on Monday. I think Monday what I'll do is I'll get on around 6 p.m. Eastern and start up some Apollo Justice before we do Mario Party Madness for that night. I just got to make sure everything's all good for that. But I do have an Apollo Justice stream next Tuesday. I'll go more into detail on next week's stream schedule on Sunday's stream after the Tournament of Backlog, which, speaking of the schedule, on Sunday, we're going to do the Tournament of Backlog full bracket breakdown, where we're going to be doing the tournament to see just what games get streamed within like the first couple of months of 2026. And then we're going to do Sharing with Shell Shock later that night. We're going to talk about childhood TV shows. Also, I'll say this right now. Once I get through a couple more games in the series, I will eventually do a Sharing with Shell Shock episode on Ace Attorney. I want to at least, like, before I do an episode of an Ace Attorney episode Sharing with Shell Shock, I think I want to at least play Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice. Great Ace Attorney I'll get to eventually, but I feel like if I do Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice, I feel like I'll be more confident enough to do a podcast episode talking about Ace Attorney. But I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But yeah, OG says, I appreciate you coming in as well. In fact, everybody in chat, I appreciate you guys coming through because this game is really good. Yes, I don't know when I'm gonna do Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice. It's not happening this year. It might happen, because the next game in the series I'm gonna do after this, which will happen sometime next year, will be the second Ace Attorney Investigations. because I did the first one earlier in the year. Because here's the thing, I have a big backlog. Like, there's so much I need to get through. And I will say this though, in terms of what is in the lineup for the tournament of backlog, stay tuned for that. That you'll see it, like you'll see on Sunday. It never ends. Yeah, the backlog is endless. Like, I have so many games right now. Like, as you see my shelves, plus my digital downloads on Switch 2 and on Steam. So, and there's so much that I can do. It's a matter of what I have planned. And yes, Ace Attorney is gonna play a big role in like future plans for streams. Plus, there's like so many things I'm planning. You'll see what I'll do. Anyway, so let me go ahead and find somebody that I can send the raid over to, because there's plenty of people on. Not sure how long he's gonna be on for, but I'm gonna read Silver. He's playing Tears of the Kingdom, so he's playing the Switch 2 version of Tears of the Kingdom. So I'm gonna go send the raid over to Silver. Let's get the raid call going. And I will see you guys on Sunday for the tournament of backlog. We're gonna do the whole bracket the whole night before I take a break to go get food, and then I will do the Share with Shell Shock episode. So definitely tune in for both. So until next time, everybody, make sure to take care of yourselves. Be awesome. Stay awesome. Tell your lovers you love them. Check out them as always. Fight for everlasting peace. I'll see you guys next time. Now you're playing with power. Be kind. Rewind. And y'all have a good one.